app that you sent me in the past. My cash app is Boxing Fans Talk TV. That's Boxing Fans Talk TV. Remember, everything you put in the cash app to me, I appreciate it. And it goes right back into the show. So be sure to do that. Cash app me up. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, I see Destiny Black is the first one up in here. What's poppin', sis? She said, hey, sis, I'm there. No sound. You don't, oh. I don't know how you don't hear no, anybody else can hear? Um, Hold on. I'm thinking. Y'all should be able to hear. I heard the music playing. I don't never hear when I'm talking through the headphones. Can y'all hear me? If y'all can hear me, hit. What's up, Dan Ted? Can you hear me? If y'all can hear me, press 1. If y'all can hear me, press 1. I'm going to type it. Okay. Some people say they can hear me. Tay is in the building. What's poppin', King? He said, Tank fangirls are ridiculous and are some of the biggest hypocrites in the sport today. They will bash other fighters for ducking, but will allow Tank to do so. They have no morals and are just as stupid as and illiterate as him. Destiny said, laugh out loud. I can hear now. Okay. I got you. Dan Tan is in the building. What's poppin', King? He says, salute, Queen. Destiny said, I thought you were here the whole time, but you must have stepped away. No, I was here the whole time since I started. And he said, I hear you. Said Dan Tan. And then, okay. Yeah, once I started. But let me go ahead and start it off, and then I'm gonna drop the link. Okay. So y'all know, as you see the thumbnail, said Tank Davis is catching a lot of heat from Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. He actually catching heat from Pitbull Cruz too, because he been on his ass too. I don't know what makes Tank so popular. I don't know if it's because people trying to figure out, has he left Mayweather? Is he still with Al? What's going to go on? A lot of people want to see his career progress in a different way other than what he been doing. He was one of the first people that I said, at 130, 135, and 140, I could see Tank being undisputed. And that's kind of like unheard of, because up until I saw Tank, I didn't see nobody else like that. Like, I see Crawford being undisputed or could become undisputed at 147, but I'm not guaranteeing that at 154. Not saying that I doubt him. He has all the confidence that he could beat Jermell Charlo, but Jermell Charlo is a good fighter. I can't even shit on him. He's a good fighter. I don't think he's a better boxer than Crawford, but he is bigger and he's a good fighter. So, maybe the cards are lined up for Crawford like that. But Tank, I was like, man, that was your destiny. And this was before Shakur Stevens even moved to 130 division. I saw that. Now you got Shakur. He had moved up to 130. He wasn't there long. And now he's moved up to 135. And I could say Shakur at 130, maybe. 135, maybe. And maybe 140. And I only say maybe because it's a maybe between him and Tank. Even though if you ask me to pick who will win, I got Shakur. But it's that maybe factor. So Gervonta Davis, he was on the panel recently with his trainer, Coach Calvin, and some other dudes and Blue Blood. Shout out to Blue Blood. Things got a little heated when they put Blue Blood on the spotlight to restate his position on who he picks between the top three, which would be Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis, and Devin Haney. And Blue Blood did not back down. He stood 10 toes down and said who he would pick. And of course, it's not agreeable with Tank and his crew. So Blue Blood was like, nah, I got Shakur and Haney beating you. And the only other person that can beat you is yourself. So Tank was like, you right about that last one. Only I could beat myself. But Tank, he said his piece and was like, yo, I cracked them in sparring. I hurt both of them in sparring. I don't care what they say. And they was like, but Devin dad said, that Devin was the victor in sparring. And he was like, ask him about that. I almost knock him out. They had to take him out one time. And see, I really didn't know if he talking about their first sparring session or the second one, because them two supposedly had fought twice. Then Shakur chimes in, and he chimes in through Twitter or whatever. He said, yeah, you would, basically, I'm paraphrasing, you would wait till you get two fights lined up, signed, sealed, and delivered, and then start talking that ish. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise he want them right now. So Tank is hot. He like, shit, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? But Tank got two fights already signed and delivered. Y'all know why that is, right? Because he supposedly, I'm speculating here, I'm guessing, because he supposedly have court in February. So, if he have those two dates lined up, that buys him more time. Because if he's thinking when he go to court, he got to do some kind of little bid, because they tried to settle the things out of court, but I think one of the parties was like, "Nah, you ain't show sympathy for me back then. I ain't finna show you sympathy." And I forgot the whole story. Something about they didn't care whether she got home and she had a little kid in the car with her, or she had some kids she had to get home to. And since they was blase blah with her, that's how she gonna be with his ass. And so she didn't roll over. So he thinking he actually gonna get some time or whatever, or the fact that he got major obligations. And I can see the court being favorable to that. Like, yo, don't put him in jail, because when you have a fight, even though you're the only one in that ring, your fight is feeding a lot of people. A lot of people job security is depending on what you do. Are you showing up for that fight? From the person who's the janitor in the arena to the people who selling food at the concession stands and the people who selling tickets at the door and everywhere. That's all dependent on them fighters showing up. And there's a lot of money being changed. And then, you got networks. So the judge going to take all that into consideration when they trying to hand out the sentence. It might even go like, remember when Mayweather fought Cotto, then he went to jail for the summer. He's supposed to have been gone the whole summer, but he actually got out like a month early or something. It might be something like that. Although I don't even remember what he did to get in trouble, so I can't even guesstimate how much time he looking at. But he gonna have a lot of time. And it could also be that even if they don't give him time, they gonna make him pay a lot of restitution. So what better way to have money stacked up, because once they dip into your pockets right now, you could turn around, boom, back to back, have 2 fights, then stock your money back up. So I think that's the whole purpose of him having 2 fights already signed, sealed, and delivered. Never mind the fact that it's a Ryan Garcia fight, which promises to make a lot of money for him. So, he not going to jail. Not until after that Ryan fight. But he's saying immediately after that fight, he coming for Haney and Shakur. But that's what they going around and saying. He claiming he hurt them in sparring, so they will be nothing for him to deal with. They claiming it didn't go down like that. Then you got Bill Haney going around saying Happy Thanksgiving. He out there like Happy Thanksgiving, getting people to repeat that, and then he give them $100. So they own Tank ass. But as of note, Haney got his next fight. I think it's with Loma. I think that's the next fight. And then after that, he's supposed to fight Shakur. So if Tank's supposed to fight this guy Hector, and he ain't no easy win. This is the guy who just beat Chris Colbert recently. The one that knocked him on his ass, made him look silly. He supposed to be fighting him on January. And then he gonna fight Ryan. And I'm gonna tell you, Ryan got a chance with Tank. Because Ryan is quick as fuck, and he do got pop on his hands too. So all that shit that Ryan be doing with that little doll baby, I call it a doll baby, that thing when he be punching it, moving back and coming back, punching it. Ryan is so sure that he can beat Tank. I don't even know how to put it. Like, it's just crazy. Out of all the people he picked, he is positive he can beat Tank. But we'll see. We'll have to see all that. Like I said, the jokes is on Tank. Bill Haney keep tagging him with jokes. Shakur like, yeah, whatever. You so sure you wait till the last minute to talk your ish. And Tank is hot. He getting mad. But Tank, this is what everybody was telling you. This is what everybody was telling you about your picks. Everybody was trying to tell you why you picking the people that you're picking. Why you moving the way that you're moving. It's not beneficial to you. You know what I'm saying? So Tank Davis said, he said, if you want to fight, set that shit up. I'm putting my own stank on it. After the Ryan Garcia fight, and tell Devin Haney dad to get off my D-Zick. Be prepared. Make sure they keep running, because after these first 2, I'm coming straight at your ass. Now, he was talking about Devin Haney, and that's Tank words. So I don't know, the future looking bright in boxing, at least for the 135 division, if they're going to mix it up. And when I was talking about somebody else, Isaac Pitbull Cruz, been calling them out. Asked for the rematch after their fight. Y'all got to remember, Isaac Pitbull Cruz had 2 weeks notice when he fought Tank. He won a proper training camp and then come and fight Tank. But Tank said no. Even after that, in the ring, he said no. I don't want to fight you no more. And now Tank out here is calling out Crawford, or he wants a piece of Crawford. I don't know what Crawford did. But if him and Shakur beefing, I guess by virtue, guilt by association or something, I don't know. Because we know that Shakur and Crawford are friendly. But he wants a piece of Crawford. But I don't think that's wise, Everybody's like, well, look, he knocked out Barrios, and Keith Thurman couldn't knock out Barrios. But y'all got to remember, Keith Thurman just, rearranged dude face. Dude looked like Elephant Man a little bit after Keith got to him. Barrios should have fell out. But y'all forget, Barrios was on that shit. He was on that shit. That's why he got expelled from the WBC ranking and everything. He failed the test, y'all. He was on that shit. Maybe he was on some shit where he can't feel nothing. I don't know. But maybe that had a reason with why Keith Thurman didn't knock him out. I don't know. Destiny said, I've been ain't like little tink tink. Said Floyd made Tank. Jamel only good when he don't have special ed James training. Yeah, what happened to Derek James, y'all? I ain't seen him in a minute neither. Shakur would definitely beat Lil Tink. And then he said Tank set up there on the panel telling that bold-faced ass lies. Even Mayweather admitted Dev beat Tank in the doghouse rules. What Bill said he won money off it. Laugh out loud, yeah. Supposed domestic violence. Oh, that's what he in trouble for. ATL is in the building. What's popping, King? Miss T, salute Queen. Destiny, laugh out loud. Haney moving up to 140. He better answer. I think he should stick around, but if he can't, he can't. Destiny, yeah. Lion Garcia might do best time. I think that's what you mean. I'm put the link in, y'all, man. Fuck Chihuahua. He ducked the fuck out of Shakur. Who you talking about? Pitbull Cruz. He might got a reason. He don't strike me as no ducker. But here's the thing. He can't go backwards. Destiny, he can't go backwards because he didn't earn this spot where he don't have to go backwards. Shakur is just coming into the division. So Pitbull Cruz, why would he look at him? He got to go for the top dogs. What's up, Destiny? How you doing?
Like I says now, you cut shit on Miss T. Don't you get on her with that BS.
We gonna be fair, Destiny. We gonna be fair. That is logical to say.
No, it's not because everybody know Shakur. He's already considered like a top dog. They ain't going backwards. His daddy sitting there screaming and hollering and crying. Well, he's going to win. He's going to make the fight. When's the last time Shakur had a boring fight? Niggas just, if you scared, just say you scared. Take your L like a man and keep it moving instead of talking all that.
I don't think it's that. I really do think. What do Shakur have anything to offer? And I like Shakur. I like them all, but I'm critical of all of them fairly.
What the ankle biter have to offer anybody? The ankle biter ain't got nothing to offer nobody neither. And
he's trying to.
Well, who are you gonna fight? Because right now, Dad got all the belts, and if that's a title eliminator. That's a title eliminator between between ankle biter and Shakur. That would be a title eliminator. That would guarantee him a shot at a title. So ankle biter ain't got no room neither. So he might as well go ahead and fight the top dog. He just can't.
I mean, if he fought him, I wouldn't be mad. But I'm just saying, I understand if he don't want to look back. Shakur just came into
Miss T. I know you like ankle biters. I know you like little ankle biters. Stop tapping. Stop.
Come on now. I don't know why my mama calling me.
You gotta stop that crap, Miss T. You capping hard.
I'm not, but I'm saying being fair. I'm saying look at it like I would look at any other division. A person just got here. They don't have no belts when they was coming in.
But he's already
off. But hold on. But we can say Shakur is that dude. But Shakur gotta earn his spot like everybody else. If you being fair.
Shakur, they already know whoever Shakur fights, they're going to be automatic. Shakur's automatically in line for a title, for a belt, and so whoever, if it's somebody he fights and they beat him, they're automatically in line for a title.
He can't come in the division ranked number one over everybody who's already been there because he just got there.
He's ranked like top 5 already in the division, sis.
But I mean, is that fair? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so because who do you think 135 to be Shakur?
It's not about what we think. I'm saying, is that fair? You have never, ever, to this day, as of today, had a fight at 135, and you ranked in the top five. We get it. I get it that he that damn good, but is that fair? Is what I'm saying.
But who else would you put above him though?
Whoever was there before he came, because technically, he hasn't even came. What fight he had at 135?
He ain't fought nobody 135. This is his first
That's
time
what
at
I'm
that weight class.
saying.
Yeah,
At
but I
least
don't.
wait till after you get a fight at 135. But I think Pitbull, but see, we'll say them belts that Tank got ain't about shit.
Yeah,
A
that's
lot
just
of
like
us would say that, but I
that's like
guess it means something to Pitbull, maybe.
this is ain't about lipstick on a pig with them belts. That little belt tank got. That's all that is. Man,
Lipstick on the pig.
we on some damn boil water BS here in Houston. We always got some BS going on in Houston, so we can't
What's
drink no
going on
water.
there?
I don't even know, girl. We got an idiot. This is what to talk to you about too, Miss T. I'm happy that we didn't have that so-called red wave that they was predicting, but we
Mm-hmm.
did still lose the damn house, which kind of pissed
Mm-hmm.
me off. And then the idiots here in good old idiot Texas re-elected that fucking Hot Wheels, so that's probably why we have to boil water because of
Girl,
him.
you almost made me choke on my water. You talking about Greg Abbott? Y'all, he in a wheelchair. She said Hot Wheels. Okay. Man,
Stand
that's
up.
crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, like we didn't get Stacey Abrams.
no, y'all didn't. But
Let's
at
say we tried, but
least your governor ain't batshit crazy like my governor is. We have
yes,
a
he is.
batshit crazy governor. He wants
You
to
know what?
secede from
Listen,
America.
I call
Huh?
anybody who's weak. All the Republican governors, they bow down instead of just being great in their own right, and they could be. But you
Mm-hmm.
bow down to Trump or Trump sympathizers or whatever to the point that y'all want to be corrupt. There's only one
Right.
party that's sitting around being corrupt, that's suppressing the vote, that's cheating, that's lying, and Lyndon Beans Johnson said it best. Another Texas, he said in the 60s, he said, if you could convince the average white man, we talk if you want to put it on a grade level scale, a C level student, the average white man, that he's far more superior than the smartest of black men, like an Obama,
Yeah.
then they won't see that we're fucking them over too. That's what he said. Now I
Mm-hmm.
paraphrase, but that's what he said. And that shit is still true to this day. Now, when I say black person, because white is at one end of the spectrum, black is at another end, and then you got all the colors in between. You can
Right.
substitute black with Latino or Asian or whatever. But that's what Lyndon Beans Johnson said. And I
Mm-hmm.
swear that shit reigns superior to this day. But people gonna understand it's not. It's ours to lose, Destiny. We have a lot of people that's not voting. We have a
Yeah, we
lot of
do.
people that talks against Democrats and be like, I hate them. But that's why I laugh, Destiny, because I said you guys are gonna pay for it. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. You don't want a country where everybody's destitute. You don't want an elite class and a massive poor class, because then
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna see that just because you got money, you might as well not have money. Where you gonna spend it at? You think you're gonna go to the mall in peace? You think you're gonna be able to park your car in peace? You think you're gonna be able to hire somebody to come do something like clean your house, fix your foods, wash your clothes in peace? No, you left them poor and destitute. That means we taking it. Tupac tried to tell you a long time ago when he was saying you got money for wars but can't feed the poor. He tried to tell people. He even gave an analogy. He said, we walk past this hotel banquet, we knock on the door and be like, excuse me, sir, can we get something to eat? They slam the door in his face. He come back and said, knock on the door. Can we please get something to eat? They close the door. He come back, please, please, pretty please. Just a little something, just the stuff y'all don't want. They close the door. He said, after so many times, we busting in the door, waving in the fourth floor. Get on your fucking stomach before I blow you the fuck up, because I'm taking this shit. That's how destitute people become. And if you never lived around people who don't have nothing to lose, y'all about to find out with y'all dumb asses. But hey,
That's what's going on right now. They said in America, crime is on a up and up. It's like some of the highest it's been in years, especially robbery and theft because of the cost. And if you know history repeats itself. Two-tier systems has always failed. Where you have the extremely wealthy, you have the very poor, and there's no
mm-hmm,
middle class. Those kind of empires always fall. You cannot
always.
suppress the poor. Like you cannot suppress people. You cannot just have a 1% trying to rule everybody.
The best thing a Republican president ever did was create the middle class. It was already one, but he created a massive middle class. Because when you have a massive middle class checks the elite. They make sure they don't get out of pocket. And they check the poor and make sure they don't get out of pocket. And the poor might check the destitute. But now you're making an elite class and a poor class and have either poor slash destitute. And you gonna see, y'all
Yeah, it's
gonna see all y'all middle class dumbass motherfuckers that really believe that y'all can rub elbows with people like Trump and the millionaire. Because a lot of people that's middle class, that's Republican, they think that they can rub elbows with these Republicans. They think they the same. Dude, they only care for the elite. That's all they've been doing for years and years. Because the elite is putting $100,000 in these Republican candidates' hands, putting it in, on the side and be like, yo, that's just for you. But when the vote come up, won't you see it my way? You not doing that. But hey, just to get, they can't win an election with just the elite. So they need your vote. So what they do, they got to give you a wedge issue where you can point the finger at somebody. And that's where that statement Linda Beans Johnson made. If you could convince the average white person that they far more superior than everybody else, they won't see when they fucking you over too.
yeah, and
And
that's
that's
exactly
exactly what it
facts.
is.
That's exactly facts. Yeah, because they don't. These white people, they don't realize that they're just these rich people don't look at you no better or no less. These, especially the poor whites, as they
Mm-hmm.
call them, trash, white trash. They don't
Mm-hmm.
look at you no more, no less than like they look at everybody else that's not white. Y'all are
It's
y'all
it's
you're the
it's
same.
sad to see it, but they gonna see. See, that's why I'm glad. I did what I did. I didn't know that what I did was I was gonna pick a happy medium. I didn't know that. I went into the military. I was making so much goddamn money. See, my problem is they was sending me into them hot spots, not like dangerous, but like hot
I know
spots
what you mean.
where I was making a lot of money. And
Mm.
I kept saying to myself at 23, where else you gonna make $4,000 every 2 weeks? I'm gonna stay. Those are my dilemmas. So I stayed and I had fun, and I seen the world, and who could beat that? I'd have been a rush. I'd have been everywhere. So that's what I kept saying to myself. And that was at 23, 4,000 every 2 weeks. Who making that kind of bread? What year was this? This was like 93, 94, something like that.
Yeah, he's making really good money, especially
Who
back then.
making that kind of motherfucker? When I tell you my clothes, girl, my underclothes were outfits. I was matching. What he said, stay Gucci down from the head to toe. I wasn't wearing Gucci. I ain't gonna lie. I never was name brand like that, but I had quality clothes. Like if I bought me an outfit, it probably did cost $100 or more. It could be something as simple as a shirt, but I'm
Yeah,
just saying shit. But that's what I did. But my choices landed me where I am. If I never work again, I'm still good.
yeah, we gonna be
Yeah,
all right. You and I gonna be all right because
yeah,
we secured our futures. But everybody else ain't got
yeah.
that that luxury right now.
I don't wear. Yeah, I don't wear. We don't worry about medical. I don't have no cap on my medical. Every time I get sick, I run up there. I
You
get medicine. Remember when that scam happened with the EpiPen? I'm one of those people who got to have an EpiPen. If you
oh
one of
shit.
those people that got to have an EpiPen wherever you go, shout outs to you. But I am. But guess
You
what?
You have a lot of allergies. Yeah, you do. I'm sure.
But guess what?
You got to get stuck with them things. That shit look like it's painful as fuck.
Girl, they only had to use a handful of time. I be looking at them like, don't you fucking dare. Like, I hate it because the way they stab it in your body. Like, oh, I hate it. But
Yeah, it's painful.
sometimes I can't stop them. But I've never been out and about, thank God, where somebody had to do it. Like my daughter knows she be ready to do it. but people, I gotta give me a little bracelet to tell people or whatever. But anywho, but what I'm saying is, remember not that long ago when people need them EpiPens, they will save your life, right? And remember the dude did something and it was like $8,000. People insurance and shit won't cover it. Miss T ain't worried about it. I had one for upstairs and downstairs. Huh. And my Quentin voice. Not bragging, but I'm just saying. That's my choice in life. Got me there. And it don't matter who become president, Republican or Democrat. They both gonna kiss veterans' asses. So
That's true. Look, D said, why nobody ain't talking about Shakur and Haney fighting? They're about evenly sized. D must be a white person. The fuck?
uh
You
Now
must
we
be a
do
white person.
we do got to get back to the boxing though. Lou Wop Gaming, welcome to the building. D Kelsey, welcome to the building. What's popping, y'all? I haven't seen y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. Do become a regular up in this. He laughing. Yeah, sometimes me and Destiny duck off into politics, but I'm just saying I'm sure I get a lot of people that watching in these YouTube box community. A lot of people seem like they just hate Democrat, but y'all gonna see. Miss T ain't gonna see shit. Ain't nothing changing over here. But y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see when y'all got a goddamn what you call that code? What you call it? The allergy code? Well, it was called something else. Not allergy code, but you know what I'm talking about? Like when
No.
people got them codes, but it's allergy based. They can't get rid of it. Ah, damn. Sinus. The
Sinus
sinus
infection?
code. You can't over the counter that shit.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got to. I mean, you can get the cold medication, but then they have to write down your name and all kind of stuff to make sure you're not
But
buying too much.
you gotta get a prescription is what I'm saying. That's
Oh no,
gonna cost you money.
no, you can
You
still get sinus medication. Like you talking about over the counter, you can still get like the
what
Sudafed and stuff like that. But you have to ask. You have to go to the pharmacy and ask the pharmacist for some, and you have to sign your name and do all this weird stuff to make sure you're not getting too much to go make meth because that's
right,
they use that stuff
but
to make meth.
you can't get what I'm saying is the good shit. Like I would go to the pharmacy or I would go to when I first learned that I had sinuses in my 20s, never
Hmm.
had it till I was like mid 20s, and I just couldn't get rid of this cold. I'm at work, and dude told me my supervisor told me he said you got to go to the doctor for that. I said, what are you talking about? I done tried everything. I done went to the pharmacy. I done talked to the pharmacist. I done got cold medicine, in the store. Soon
Hmm.
as they gave me a prescription, I don't know what the difference. Just like my allergy medicine now, there's a difference. I don't know what it is between the Zyrtec I can buy in the store and the Zyrtec that I get prescribed. I don't know what the difference is.
I think
The
it's
Zyrtec,
psychosomatic. I
it
think it's
might
psycho.
be. It might be, but I know the Zyrtec that I get prescribed always work. The one I get in the store is hit or miss, or it's
I
kind of,
think it's
you
that
know.
referee coming out the other day. Yes, yeah, I think it was yesterday. The referee that came out and said about how they get paid to cheat or whatever, and how he was cheating for your boy, Manny
The
Dummy.
referee.
Yeah, the referee has said that one.
And oh yeah, I didn't look at that video. Hold on, let me get some of these texts, and then I want to talk about that because if you seen it, yeah, break that down. D. Kelsey said, "Why nobody ain't talking about Shakur and Haney fight? We were. They are evenly sized. I don't know. See, I don't want to scare Destiny off just yet to tell which one of I got." D. Kelsey said, "Tank fighting Ryan. He is in April 15th, tax day." And D. Kelsey said, "Nah, I'm black." He said, "Nah, he black, shawty." And then D. Kelsey said, "Tank made the first step at a big fight. Everybody knows whoever loses first is putting their career on the line." So what's up with this? Now that's true, D. So what's up with this referee? Because I saw the thumbnail and it looked like they had the Wilder fight in the background too. What was he saying?
He was saying like when your boy um Manny Capial, when Capial was fighting this Muslim guy from Australia who's saying somebody, and how the dude really pretty much wanted to fight, but they gave him like an extra long count. He said the count was more like 17 seconds or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But and then took he said that Manny Pacquiao headbutted little buddy. He counted it as a punch, so they was able to disqualify him. And then he took a point for no reason for a supposed, imaginary low blow. So he did all these things to keep Pacquiao to make sure Pacquiao won the fight.
Well,
And
you said low blows. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah,
You
that's
know
what
I was
yeah,
about
he's
to
saying
jump
like
on
that.
that one.
He said because they were in the Philippines, and he said that they told him Pacquiao has to win this fight. He can't lose this fight, and all this other stuff. So just and WBC posted it, which was kind of odd that they was the one who posted it because they've been accused of really cheating. So and
They
this dude,
they
which
they
I guess it was
all
a WBC
cheats.
belt.
They all be cheating. I've done the show about the WBC cheating ass. They
Hmm.
all cheat. I mean, if you think about the cheating that's gone down this year alone, you got Keith Thurman moving up to the number one spot ranking in the WBC. How? Even I say, and y'all know I love Deontay Wilder. He got moved to number one. How?
They just be, I don't, they just do what they want to because they're trying to make these fights. They're trying to eliminate certain fighters or try to get certain things out the way so they don't want a two-time, because they already got a three-time black lady that's, undisputed. They don't want to see a two-time black undefeated, fighter in, men's boxing. So they're trying to do everything to make sure they don't see that. That's why they're moving real funny like.
But yeah, they being fugazi and then they getting in the way. It's like, oh God, you would think these are TV shows that they putting on. These are boxes, man. We don't care to see Mauricio or whoever else in charge of whatever sanctioning belt. We don't give a care about Floyd and Al Heyman and Bob Arum and what's that Golden Boy and
Whoever else you got should.
yeah, we
Under
don't give a
Armour.
care. We here to see the fighters, and they putting themselves the cart before the horse. That's why I call them empty suits and
But you know
everything.
what? Black fighters, because especially Black American boxers, if they was to say fuck them belts and they would stop paying these sanctioning bodies, they wouldn't be able to do the things that they do. They wouldn't be able to cheat the way that they cheat. So black fighters, Black American fighters, especially said, you know what, fuck these belts. We're not fighting for these belts no more. We're gonna fight, what's best for the boxing community and as a whole or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they will stop giving these sanctioning bodies all this damn money, 3% of your purse or 12%, whatever it is, outlandish, and you have to pay that every year that you hold the damn belt. They stop doing that shit, they wouldn't be able to move the way they move. But Black people, we just like lemmings. We gotta keep it.
But you know what? But you know
That's
what?
what masters say.
You have to introduce that kind of in a different way. Not fuck the other belts, but just introduce another belt, and then have such a big prize attached with having that belt, and then watch all the people go for it, and kind of like automatically put them in somewhat of a tournament type situation where if you trying to go for that belt, you have to face off whoever we got ranked. You have to go through the rankings up on your way up to the final finale. You know what I'm saying? And when
Yeah,
you reach the final finale, you get such a huge ass prize, but on your way there, you get paid a decent wage. And people, it'll be up to them whether you black, white, or yellow, or purple, that if you want to get in line for that. Because if you think about it, when they be talking about the Crawford and Spence, and they be like, why Crawford don't fight Boots, or why Crawford don't fight these other people, they not getting in line to fight him. And far be it for him to think he can go jump in the WBC and be top ranked up in there. They're not gonna do that for him. So he gonna fight. He gonna look within his own ranking structure, pick somebody from there, and then possibly if somebody from those other rankings want to holler at him, because and actually Bernie the Boxer Not this, was it this past Sunday? Recently. I want to say it might have been this past Sunday, but he said it was a recent broadcast from Bernie the Boxer. He said, if you want to fight Boots, if you want to fight Terrence, he said, when Terrence has said, they ain't asking me. None of them names have come up. When people say, what about Boots and what about Virgil and what about, he said them names ain't come up. So Bernie said, Boots, if y'all want to fight, like he don't got a problem with Boots, but he had a problem with Boots' daddy, Bozy. He said,
Mm-hmm.
if y'all want to fight, say it like this. I want to fight with Terrence Crawford. I'm going to beat his motherfucking ass. Or something to that effect. Like real harsh. He said, you will almost guarantee yourself to get a fight with Terrence. He said, you're not really asking for Terrence. You always asking for Earl, which is true.
It is true because that's because he's with Showtime and all this stuff. And another thing, if they're not giving, that's the funniest thing to me in the world. They keep saying that Terrence Crawford should fight all these different people, right? Okay, if they're not going to give Terrence Crawford the Spence fight, which is with PBC, how they think he's going to get the Keith Thurman fight, the Little Boots fight? Who else? They keep naming.
Everybody in there.
Jamel too. Like, how is he gonna? That's all PBC. Like, what do y'all think he's gonna do? Like, how can he fight? They won't give him fucking Earl. They're not gonna give him nobody on PBC side.
See y'all, the last I see Destiny, you won't hear when we had nothing but Earl fans up in here. ATL was on my ass. Damn, Destiny fell out. He was on my ass, and I said the same thing. They didn't even. Two people can't think the same, right? She way over where she at. I'm way over here. And we said the same thing because you know why we say the same thing? Because it's logical. It's common sense. But you won't in here that day where what's that, ATL, Bon Queequeg, I don't even know who these people is, showed up. I think they be from the other channels, but they just showed up. And ATL was going in, that's how bro. But he was trying to go in. He said, I won the debate. And then people on here was like, oh, Miss T, you got cooked on your own show. I like, man, you can't get cooked with lies. But like what she just said, I said that day. It is common sense.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
My
can hear
phone is
you
acting
now.
trash. I don't.
I can hear you now. But
Actually, oh,
what
you can hear me
she,
now?
yeah, what she said was common sense. Me and her don't got the same brain, but
That's it.
everybody got common sense.
No, it comes.
Well,
Sense
most
ain't
of
that
us.
common. Sense ain't that common.
Well,
There's a lot of
well,
senseless
most of
motherfuckers.
us. I mean, how like going like just bring it back to the thumbnail. Tank, you guys chime in if y'all think Tank been moving correctly in his career. Speak up in the chat, or I'm asking you, Destiny. Do you think he been moving right in his career? Uh, as far as the fights he been picking or the fights he been with.
Hell no. You know what? Shakur exposed him with the some text messages, and he said Tank told him he's planning on fighting nothing but bombs and making hella money. That's what Tank had told Shakur, and Shakur's exposed to.
Oh,
Yeah, Shakur exposed him on the Twitters, and
he
then some text
did.
messages went out too that
Well,
he's been
shame on
exposing him.
you.
Yeah,
Shame
little
on you,
Tookie.
Tank, because I don't have Twitter and I didn't know that. So we can find that shit that
Mm,
is out there because if it is Twitter that type of engine that once it's out there you can't really take it back or something.
right. Once it's out there, it's out there. It's forever. It's forever, ever, ever, ever.
So
Yeah, he's
so so Tank, that's your plan.
That was his plan all along. That's why Tank said, "Fuck it, I'm whoever wants it, they can line it." He already know Devin plan is to already move up to 140. He already know by the time he talking about after he done with these two fights, Shakur already probably gonna be in contracts with other people. He's saying this stupid shit because it sound good, bro. You
That's
never
why
want to fight nobody with a pulse.
so that's why they on his ass right now.
Yeah, because he's a little bitta.
Oh, see, make me look at you differently, Tank. I mean, I
He's a little
still say
bitter.
you got the goods of what you got, but now I look at it differently because y'all know when he fought who was it that he fought when he had 50,000 pay-per-views?
I think that was
He
your
didn't
boy.
get his.
That was the ankle biter. He fought the ankle biter.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, Dad. Put some spec on my boy. Dad. Put some spec on there. All right. Um, she said the
Mm,
ankle biter, Isaac Cruz. So he got
mm,
like
the ankle biter.
50,000. So it don't matter what the reason was. They was dumb enough to put it on a NFL Sunday. That was them. And now it's on as a part of his record. You
Yeah,
have had a fight. You have had a fight where you garnished 50 some thousand pay per views. So miss me with the I'm a star shit.
he a star, right, in his own damn mind.
You can't even say that with a straight face no more. D said they fighting who their promoters lining up. Yeah, D, but like I was saying, do we agree with that? They also have the power to withstand. As Tom Brown said,
Speak your damn
who
mind.
works for PBC, it is the final word is up to the fighter. And that is true with all of them. You can't make them do
Fact.
whatever. But we'll see. Like I've said and I put out, if Errol Spence fight Keith Thurman, it's a cool fight. But I'm going to roast the fuck out of him.
But you know how many
I'm
times
going to
people don't
roast
fight
him.
their managing the box? They was trying to say like what's his name? What's his name's wifey? Nonito Donaire wifey always be on H Money show, whatever. She be on there trying to say, well, at the end of the day, it's the promoters and all this, they decide the fights. And girl, no, that's what you and your husband got going on. Because at the end of the day, especially if you go back and listen to like Mayweather and Mike Tyson, but they ain't like the managers. They fired their damn managers, and then they started, do moving their own way. And then Mike Tyson never became his own promoter. I don't think so. Not to very end. But he went on, let somebody else promote him. You can fire your promoters. You can fire your managers. You can fire your trainer, but you can't. Oh, I mean, unless you want to fire yourself, then it's quit boxing. But fighters have the final goddamn word. They have the final goddamn word, and that's what made.
Yeah,
That's why Crawford is able to sue the fuck out of Bob Arum, because that's why they made that contract specific for the fighters he wanted to fight and the money he wanted. And when your boy Arum did not come through, that's why he's able to sue, because he put that specifically in his contract with Bob Arum. So I don't understand people be saying, well, it's up to the promoters. No, it's up to the damn fighter.
you know what a lot of
And
people
if you got
saying
a damn idiot,
speaking on that suit. A lot of people keep saying that Crawford dropped the suit. I haven't found anything to say that. Do you know anything about that?
no, and they just making us some damn Crawford dropped the suit lie too. That's what they did.
That's what I said. That's what
That
I
would have
said.
been
D
news.
D D saying it's all about the money. Don't
Yeah,
be
D,
telling me this.
D, once you get on the
But
panel,
you
D,
know,
come pop your collar, D. Come pop your collar. Come join us. Join the panel. Pop your collar.
D said Spencer Thurman is a big fight though. Even though Spence gonna brush him. Oh Lord, definitely come pop your collar. Uh,
Uh,
but he said he got Spence in this one. But and we respect that, D. We respect all opinions here.
yeah,
But we can get passionate at times, but in the end, we end with love. But and I'm just letting them know that y'all, because D, I think this is your first time being here, so just so you know.
yeah. We're
But
not Spencer Holics over here, D. Just to let you know, there's no Spencer Holics on this panel right now.
it's Bud country over here. But I respect everybody's opinion.
Yes,
Um,
we do.
but yeah. But what I'm saying is, Spence emphatically. Why I don't know. It wasn't very professional. But he emphatically said he would never fight Keith Thurman.
Yeah,
Never, never, never. But we're
yeah.
gonna see. We're gonna see how much he's the big fish after all. We're gonna
They're trying
see
to
if
push
he's
it
the
on him right now,
boss.
though. Yeah, they are trying to
They
push this
are.
fight with him. He has been, resisting it. He's been diligently, trying to resist that fight. I think he really wants the Bud fight too now, I guess. I don't know if he really wants it. I don't know what's going on over there on the PBC side
He
of
left
the
the
fight.
country, from my understanding. He in Ghana somewhere.
Oh, that's dope, though. If he's in Ghana, that's mad dope. I put some respect on his name for that one.
I
He was in
mean,
Africa. In Africa?
And see, that's the thing, I be getting confused when they say in Ghana. Is it the South America one or African? I don't
You
know.
talking about, yeah, I know what you mean. Okay. So if he, I mean, it's still a black country too, though. I mean, but it ain't Africa.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't
Mm.
know. Either way, he's out the country, and he can't listen. His fight with Keith is gonna go down in February. I do. It was going down December 17th. I was like, we'll see. But then the WBA stepped in to buy them some more time. So I believe that Spence was resistant because the WBA came out after the WBC had said, yeah, you got to do it. The WBA came out and said, yep, you got to do it. And you got to do it by February. They gave a date by February. So that kind of extended the time from December to February. We gonna see what kind of power you really got. If you don't fight him, you will be stripped of two of your belts. It's coming. It's going.
Oh,
So he gotta do some soul searching on his own. But is it fair to do Spence like that? I believe so. Not because I'm against Spence. Spence has had his belts for some years, well, at least the IBF, and he hasn't been fighting his mandatories, and he does what he want, when he want, how he want to do it, and that's cool for him. Kudos to him. Good on him. When he said he like where he at, this is why he said he like where he at, because he gets what he want, and that's cool. But I don't believe in holding up none of the fighters just at one person's expense. He his priorities and what he want out of his boxing career is no more important than the next man priorities and what they want out their boxing career. You can't be
honestly, they
holding
could
up
have banned him from the WBC when he was out of boxing for that year or so because of he
the
decided
eye
to go on
injury.
a drunk drive and
Oh, the drink.
crash his car. That had nothing to do with everybody else. They should have been stripped from then. They shouldn't wait until now when he's about to fight for potential undisputed and then try to make him fight this damn Thurman boy. Nobody want to see him
But
against fucking Morris Day. Morris Day need to go figure out a song to sing and leave everybody else alone. Leave the boxing to the man.
you, everybody walks about it.
Hey,
Everybody say what? She said Mars Day. 7779311.
hmm, Morris Day
But
should figure out
look,
a song to sing a damn song and leave the boxing to the men. Get on my
y'all,
damn
y'all,
nerves.
y'all didn't know Miss T was a Prince and Mars Day and Vanity Six fanatic. I went to the concert. I was 2 years old.
Dang, I want to. That was the only thing I don't want to do. That was like one of the top things on my bucket list was to see Prince in concert. But now I can't never because he's gone.
I'm
Unfortunately.
so glad my mama let us go, but I think my sister was asking. And we so close in age. She went, take your sister with you. One of them type shits. And I was like 12. I think I was 12 or 11, man. And she got me the outfit I had on this. I don't know what kind of green they call it, but it wasn't forest green and nothing. It was like
Like an army green?
almost kind of like an army green, but it had red. The pants in the middle was split open,
Uh-huh.
and it had a red, more softer material going down the middle of that split open all the way down to the ankle. And I had I call it a sheer kind of belt because you could see through the belt. In
Mm-hmm.
my mind, it matched the green. It had some kind of opaque, like yellowish, but not yellow. But the shirt
I
was
know what you
red.
mean. Mm-hmm.
Girl, you couldn't tell me shit.
You were clean.
My little, and Miss T was a size 1 back then.
You said you were clean. You was Dougie Fresh.
I was clean, like Jesse. Now Jerome.
Crawford worried about losing, and his career is almost over. Anyways, Crawford said he's not fighting in his late 30s, and he's already
Yeah.
35. So I think once he do beat Spence, I think that's probably gonna be his last fight because I think he knows Jamel's never gonna get in the ring with him.
Let me say this. If Crawford wants to go for the bag at this point, y'all just gonna have to be mad. It's not like he didn't try. We
Yeah.
know that, and going to the Hall of Fame is not the end all, the be all for everything in your career, but it is in a sense when they want to compare everything with these two. When Crawford
Mm-hmm.
retired, 5 years is the earliest he can get into the Hall of Fame.
And he
Everybody
did
has to
that.
wait 5 years. He's
Yeah,
gonna be first ballot. This we know. It's
that's
not
right.
we think. This we know. If Spence retired today, we don't know that. Do we think Spence gonna be a Hall of Famer? Yeah, in due time. But
No,
we
I don't
don't
think
know.
so.
We don't know. Not the first ballot. We can't say. We don't know. It's up in the air. You know what I'm saying? Um, I say if they want to wait, they wait. Now I heard things like that so-called TikTok video where Spence was drunk and all that. Now look, I don't know where. I wish I'd have saved that YouTube, but somebody who would know them was like, "That won't fake, y'all. That won't fake. That shit got out by accident. That was some real shit, but they trying to fake it off." And hey, to each his own. If he likes to get drunk, that's why I keep telling y'all, it's not the end of the world. You can drink. I smoke. I need to quit. My life would be a whole lot better if I stop. But guess what? If you drink, that's your choice, Earl. I ain't got a heaven and hell to put you in. But when we talking about body fitness compared to Crawford's, no.
Mm-hmm.
Lose that battle, Shawty.
He doesn't live a fighter's lifestyle. That's why he gets
Mhm.
tired so fast, and that's why he looked good and terrible against Danny Garcia. You
Yeah,
don't
but
lose
he
struggling to make weight and shit. Yeah,
Oh,
you
D
got.
D D Fair, he's not an aerosexual. He said if either one of them lose, that's their career. And D, I feel you that you say that. I don't like to say that about anybody. Like if they lose, if you still want to fight and you got fight left, then you keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
But what you gonna run into is when Pacquiao was steady still trying to get at Floyd, and this is after he lost to Marquez. Floyd said, "Man, whatever, because Pacquiao was the one. Their team was making it way difficult than it needed to be." And
Mm-hmm.
What did Floyd say? Man, he still got Marquez problem.
Mm-mm.
What can you say?
And then once Mayweather finally did make that deal with him, man, Mayweather took the lion's share. When he was offering, initially he was offering Pactar dumbass, 50-50 on everything. And then they didn't want to do it because of some drug testing, because he was on that good juice. And then
Yeah.
now when he lost to that he got knocked out by Marquez. Yeah.
Mhm.
Then it was all of a sudden it was a wrap. Yeah. Now then Mayweather became that's when that nigga became the lion. And I'm gonna take the lion's share.
Exactly. D
Mhm.
said he's being smart, get that big bag. He doing what he can. Like, honestly, I don't understand. Like, look, I'm putting the promo up. Y'all go get the fight. Can't say you won't toe. Um, so what I'm saying is, y'all can go to Roku. If you got a Roku, you can add this app easy. Like, I don't know in your smart TV how you add apps because I can't do it. But
Yeah,
I don't know if
you,
it's
you have Play Store on your TV, or you got Apple TV? Which one you got?
I got a Vizio, but it says Apple. I seen that I have Apple TV as an app.
Oh, yeah, it's an app, but you gotta have the updated smart TV where you can put in you go to the Play Store, and then you Google you put in the Black Prime app, and you can download it on your TV that way.
I think my TV is 2 years old. I don't know how that factors in it, but I got Roku on one of my TVs, so
Oh, that's
I
easy to
just I
go.
just add the app. Once you add the app, you go into it, and it comes right up. It's one of the first. It was the big ass thumbnail. If that
Mm-hmm.
don't work, move the cursor at the top where it said movies, TV, whatever, and all these options. Just move it once. Move it to movies, and it's gonna be the top left hand corner thumbnail. Click it. You're gonna see the time clock, and then you're gonna see 39.95. I mean, you really can't beat that price, so y'all be sure to go get it.
And to be honest, that's the kind of price they should be charging for these pay-per-view fights. Period. I mean, if they're gonna have pay-per-view fights and stuff like that, it should be
Mm-hmm.
that price, because the way, like they keep saying, like all the piracy and stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to make some money off these fights, you're trying to put these fights on these stupid ass pay-per-views.
Yeah. People
Somebody
will be
whoever this 669 bitch, get the fuck up out of here. Get her the hell up
who
out of here with that salmon.
uh I guess say, girl, who you cursing out now? I don't know why they be coming to my thing. But back to the Davis thing. So look, my whole thing to say with Tank and all that, I never liked how they moved him because I don't think it was advantageous to his career. I think when you're young in this game of boxing, you got to strike while the metal is hot, and that you
Mm-hmm.
should be going for your legacy out the gate. You should be. You should be
Yeah.
going for notoriety and your legacy. And then when you come to the end of your career, is when you coast. And I'm gonna tell you, that's the fucking formula for no matter what career you do. I was in the military. I went balls to wall in the beginning, and you best believe I sat on my ass in the end. As much as matter of fact, shit, I don't even know I can count on both my hands. I don't know, hands and toes. How many times I was at work my last 6 months? What the fuck they gonna say to me? Nothing. They couldn't. Hey, I got an appointment.
My last 6 months, I barely, if I came to work, you was lucky to see me.
Exactly. I be like, I got an appointment. All right. Make sure
Shit,
you
I would
just
come in at like 1 o'clock and leave by 3.
yeah. They be like, make sure you call us at least. I'm rolling over, scratching the other ass cheek. That's what my appointment is. Or I would show up to work and be he hi. I don't know about y'all, but like I said from when I used to work with planes. The day didn't get started till we did 5 walk down. Now everybody don't have to do a 5 walk down, but if you work with planes, you know what I'm talking about. But it's everybody's schedule don't really start, and maybe people like after we get our breakfast and whatever. Will you get to work at 7:30? Maybe about 8:39 is when you actually start cracking, in your job. Man, I would go to work. It'd be like 8:35. I'd be like, up. Well, I done visited all who I want to visit. Look, y'all look like y'all getting serious and shit. Oh, we got a muster at 10 o'clock. We got a meeting. Well, I ain't gonna be there. Tell them I got an appointment.
You ain't lying. I would dip out in a minute. Shit.
Gone.
I, mm-mm. Them last 6 months was the best 6 months ever in the military.
hmm hmm And they ain't like it. And then, oh my God, look, that was when I still had to show up when I was supposed to muster every day at least, right? So
Mm-hmm.
then, like, I stopped working. My actual last day was like April 5th. My last paid day was June 30th.
Right, because you
So,
went on your
look,
terminal leave after that.
yeah, I remember this young kid. They put him. They try to set him up. I think he should have known better. But you ever meet them young people that come in the military and they make rank real fast. And the
Yeah.
type of job I had, as long as you could do well on the test, you make rank fast. And this little kid was no different. But he called me like every day, like a couple of times, and I wouldn't answer the phone. Then finally, I answered the phone. I said, "Nigga, what you want?" This is a white guy. I said, "Nigga, what you want?" He said, "Well, Chief wanted me to check." I said, "Chief tried to get you in trouble." I said, "Let me do you a favor. Don't motherfucker call me no more. I ain't in the Navy as far as you concerned. You ain't got no choice but to mark me present. Nigga, I'm on terminal leave.
Yeah, you
Don't
are
call me
literally,
no
when you on terminal leave, that's exactly unless you commit a crime or something like
Exactly.
that. They can't call your ass back for a damn thing. And I
Exactly.
know you wouldn't commit no crime, so yeah, they better leave your black ass alone.
Exactly. So I'm like, look, just make sure my check there the 1st and the 15th every
That's
month.
what you
That's
best
how
do.
y'all can,
Okay.
you know, y'all ain't gonna hear from me. So take it easy.
Um,
But that's what I mean by it don't matter your career. At the end of your career, that's the kind of mode you should be in. A money grab, a chilling grab, and all that. Or take the easy route. And all of that's welcome at the end of your career. It shouldn't be something you doing at the beginning of your career. But what they're banking on is that he's gonna take He's taking these easy fights, and we're paying to see that. So imagine us paying to see him fight Devin, or paying to see him fight Shakur.
That's the only two fights I paid to see him fight. Now, I'm actually not paying for him. I'm actually paying for Shakur and Devin, and not him, because those are my favorite fighters, but not
Yeah,
him.
but I was saying Tank, don't be like that. Now with them three, let me tell you, all three can box. All of them. All of them
Mm-hmm.
are complete boxers. Now they each got something that separates them from the other. So if all three of them can box, then I go to who's the more complete fighter, more finesse. That would be Haney and Shakur. They're more strategic with that.
Mm-hmm.
Tank, he will depart from boxing sometimes just to slug it out. But
Yeah,
Devin Haney and Shakur would never do that, right?
they're too
But
disciplined.
between the two, who utilize their tools better, and in my opinion, this way me and Destiny cross paths. I'm gonna say Shakur. I think he used his tools just a little bit better than Devin. But we all pinching at straws. That's when I'm talking about all three
Them
of them.
two.
And then Tank, he got the equalizer. He got the power,
Yeah,
and none of them do. So a matchup with all three is welcome, and we want to see it. As far as I know, Haney is slated to fight Noma next. When is that next? I don't know. And then from there, he's going to go on and fight Shakur. Haney with the smoke. He wants all the smoke. And as
yeah.
far as Tank goes, he got his fight, which is not an easy fight, January 7th coming up. I'm still not paying for no shit. It better be free. If it ain't free, I guess I'll have to take y'all word for it, how it went. And then April 15th, he's supposed to be fighting Ryan Garcia. Now they gonna make a buttload of money on that. They will. Now Tank has said, I just read it to y'all. He coming after Haney ass next. Like
He better take his
y'all,
ass up to 140. He better take his ass up to 140 because Devin said this is his last fight at 135 because he's struggling to make it.
what did Tank
So I
say?
guess little Tink Tink has already fought at 140 before. He's going
But
back
Devin,
up there and fight at
listen,
140.
Devin can last this whole year because at 135 he can do it. Especially I don't know when he's fighting Loma, but he's not fighting Loma in January. He's not fighting Loma in February. So I don't know if it's March, April, May, whenever he gonna fight him. He can stay in shape and get ready for the Tank fight, and then after Tank, then him go on and move up if you want to. Or
You
but
must be in his body or something. You must be in this man's body to tell this man he
I'm not. I'm not. I'm saying if you already there, just stay. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's hard. It's hard. Just I got on fucking Shakur. Yo, it's a way they can do it. Like Destiny, and I know if you go completely vegan, your ass will drop all that weight. Now we know that. We
well, I'm
know
like
that.
going for vegan, and I'm not a fighter, and I would never go vegan because I like
Yeah,
cheese
I know.
and
I
I like
know.
chicken. I love cheese
I
and chicken.
know. But it's not like it can't be done. So Tank said, if you want to fight, set it up after the Ryan Garcia fight and tell Devin Haney's dad to get off my dick. Be prepared. This Tank words. This ain't Miss T words. This Tank. That's how mad he is about the shit.
He sound like an angry. He sound like an angry lizard. An angry lizard. Like, why are you so hostile towards Mr. Haney? I love me some Bill. I don't like Bill's wife though. That look like a grown ass man. I don't know what made him marry her. That's an ugly lady. She's big.
Oh,
She's huge. Have you seen her? It's
nah,
a
but
big
I
man.
wouldn't. I wouldn't judge no women.
It's a
You
big
know
white
I.
lady. It's a big white man. He's married to a big white man. His husband is really big.
Oh
That's his
shit.
husband. That's not a lady. That's a husband.
The views of Destiny Black doesn't necessarily express the views of boxing fans talk TV. I've never seen his wife or anything. But Tay is in the building. What's Poppy Tay on the Poppy shit?
What's
Hey,
good, Miss T?
What's
So I'm
good?
here to talk about some things. I disagree. I think it's kind of clear who's the better fighter between Devin and Shakur, and I don't believe that Tank would fight anybody. Only person he will fight probably is the concession stand man, and maybe even a drunk dude in Mexico. Tank not fighting nobody. And I don't know why people keep thinking he's gonna fight nobody. He's not gonna fight no one, bro. He said the same stuff last time. He gonna fight Devin after Cambosis. What happened after that? He became quiet as a church mouse. He does this every single time to promote his next fight. Then we'll fight nobody. My main issue here is that man, these fans will defend Tank, but then they will crush guys like Canelo. Like Canelo, even though I crush him, he's fought way better competition at his age than Tank did. It's just annoying how people just act like he's just gonna knock out everybody, and he fights absolute no ones.
Well, right now, if they going by his record, Tank has the best knockout ratio, I think, of all of them at 96 percentile. But like you
Yeah,
said, he ain't fighting nobody. I mean, he catch a lot of flack from that.
he
He's
almost died
fighting.
of the driver. Remember, he's like he had like 1,000 heart attacks against me. He accused Mayweather of trying to set him up and all kind of stuff because of Pedraza. And then he said Mayweather that was jealous of him when they tried to make him fight Loma. So yeah, there you have it.
I know. And then they think he's some killer. He a little man. He a little chihuahua. He ain't no killer, man.
He an ankle
Ain't
biter too.
no dog in him.
He a
So
little ankle biter.
who is the better between Shakur and Devin Haney?
He thinks
I think
Shakur is
it's
clearly.
I think it's clearly Shakur. I think Devin's more athletically gifted than him. But
Mm-hmm.
when I'm talking about his skill set, I think Devin leaves. He has more flaws to his game. His inside game needs some work. He's not very good at positioning, and he's just not very good at I forgot what it's called.
Certain tools, like when we say a
Certain tools
complete
he doesn't
fighter.
have, especially
Yeah,
in the clinch. He's not very good. He doesn't know how to break a clinch and punch in a clinch.
it's,
He doesn't know how to do that yet.
it's not to say he won't gain them, but at this moment, because like I've seen Devin try to fight going backwards, not as clean and precise as Shakur, not as clean as precise.
No, he fight pretty good going backwards. He fights pretty good going
I
Not
think
backwards.
his
better than Shakur. He be messing up.
I
Mm,
think his
He
inside
not that
game is
good.
not as good as Shakur. That's the main difference to me. It's inside game and how and his jab when he fights southpaws. It's not as effective. He just keeps his lead hand out there and just doesn't really control traffic. I saw that in the what's his fight when he fought that one cat,
Jojo did.
Jojo Diaz. Yeah,
Jojo Diaz.
he didn't utilize his jab. He just
I
kept
don't
his
think
lead
that's
hand
what it
out
was
there.
with JoJo Diaz. With JoJo Diaz, he was trying to prove a point that he could take a
But he
punch and
still
all the
could
other
use his.
stuff. But no,
But he still could
he
use.
fought JoJo Diaz. He was trying to prove a point to everybody that he could. Because if you looked at him when he beat the fuck out of Linares, he was
He
doing
looked
all
way better.
that. He looked up, yeah, because when he went with fought JoJo Diaz, he was trying to prove a point to all the fans. But what Devin had to realize, it didn't matter what he do. He's never going to please everybody. So he just need to stick to
Mm-hmm.
what he's been doing, what he's great at. And when he dismantles a fighter like he did Linares and the Cambozo, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully he does to Homachenko, he's don't be trying to prove points. Don't just I wouldn't even worry about it if I was him. I just wouldn't care what nobody said.
Well, yeah,
That's
it definitely don't try to prove a point because we don't let Earl get away with that neither. Because I'm not gonna let no fighter come in and say, "See, I was trying to blah blah blah." When you ain't on the level of a TBE, you really can't say that because, like, if I don't know if y'all saw the fights this weekend, so in
yeah,
my
Regis did his
opinion,
damn thing. Regis did his
Regis
damn
did do
thing.
Yeah,
the. But
so
am I the only one that think that Regis was carrying that dude for a long time?
I felt like the dude was not trying to get knocked out, and when he started to open up, we just was able to capitalize on it. But he definitely
Mhm.
wasn't pressing the action as much as he could have. But
Because if y'all remember,
Zepeda was not.
Regis. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jay.
Yeah, I'm saying Zepeda was not trying to. I mean, you saw how he was circling. He was not trying to fight. Basically, he was trying to just survive.
Yeah, he was.
Well, 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 they both felt each other's power because he was busting Regis' nose up and everything and in his ear. But I'm gonna say this: remember Regis back in the day, how he came in there cocky as a bitch, get you out of there within a round or two. He was going for it. But age has showed up, y'all. Age is never defeated; it's undefeated. And I ain't saying he done for. I'm saying, all of us, no matter who you are, including Terrence, including your favorite fighter out there, when you get a certain age in your 30s, there's the decline is setting in. You really know that you can't do that shit that young boy shit you used to do. And I saw it in this fight with Regis because I felt like either he's carrying him or is he strategically trying to put on a good show for the fans or is he strategically trying to show that he got some flaws? Because it seems like fighters these days, they don't jump on you unless they see flaws. Like they be on there Mikey Garcia shit. I saw something. You know what I'm saying? If you look spectacular, they don't want you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
There's only a couple of boogeymans in the boxing arena anyway. We know Shakur's a boogeyman, Devin's a boogeyman, and Bud is a boogeyman. They don't never call out them names. People call out everybody names but them three. They'll call out Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck. They even call out Floyd, who's been retired 1,000 years. Adrian Broner, who ain't fought in a month of Sundays. They'll call out any names. They don't call out them three names. Them names are avoided. They're avoided
They
for a
call out
reason.
sprints. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but they call out sprints.
Yeah, they do call out Sprints. They always call out
Yeah,
Earl
they do
Spence.
call us friends.
Yeah,
They
because he's
do
not a.
really. Let me put
Everybody
his
feel like he's
picture up.
beatable. Yeah,
Let me
because
put
they
his
feel like
picture up.
the Nutcracker.
Yeah.
They feel like Sprints is beatable, but them three, they don't feel like they're easy to beat because that's why Ryan Garcia kept calling out fucking Tink Tink name because he know out of everybody Tink Tink is probably the easiest besides T-Ho. I think T-Ho is even easier than Tink Tink.
She be killing me when she said ting ting. Ting ting.
I want to see Regis crack the fuck out of T-Ho, and
Look,
then I want
look,
to see him
look.
beat up the little Russell boy.
What
Then
is
I'll be
that?
happy.
It's a cartoon or a kid show where they be like ting ting. Ting ting. If I can find it out. Ting ting. That shit funny. But yeah, but Tank is upset now because it seems like the barrage is coming at him. But he really have nobody to blame but himself. Because this is why you guys as a fighter, and I'm talking to the fighters out there, you guys got to take control of your career. It's your career. When all the look, let me tell you, I can speak on retirement. Okay, real intelligently. I'm retired. All the dust is settled. All I got is my memories. All I got is my memories. Tell you what happened to you. So all that time, so look, I had the full Navy experience. They offered me to go on the sub. I was like, hell to the nah. I ain't signed up for that shit. I think it's unsanitary for women to go on subs. And you won't go use me as a test case. But they did offer. You know what I'm saying? And technically, why wouldn't I want to try? But you
I
don't
was
know.
watching something about the Navy the other day with shark attacks. I didn't know they let y'all take breaks in the middle of the ocean, go out there and swim. Y'all some crazy asses. I mean, ain't no way in the world I'm getting in the water where I know there's sharks down
I
there.
told y'all that before that we let the back door down. Like when I say that, I'm talking about the Marine ships. Well, the Navy run all ships, but
Yeah,
these
I know,
ships
but
to
you shouldn't
cater
mean.
for Marines because they can ride their gear and all that shit up on the ships, and we got one of them where you can let it down and let all the water inside, and we can swim. One time we had let all the water inside, and they was gonna do swim quals in the back of the ship where we have all the stuff. And
Hmm.
shit, motherfucking sharks was in that.
Yeah,
Everybody's like,
exactly.
never mind. We
Yeah.
was like, never mind.
Girl, yeah,
Uh-uh.
that's a lady down there. Some soldier, yeah, one of y'all Navy sailors is in the water. A 16-foot tiger shark came about to eat the hell out that lady. Luckily, the little people came in with the little boat and stuff and got this little tiger shark
Yeah.
away. Girl, I would have a
Ah,
1,000 foot. Never jumped in that water. I don't jump in the ocean. That's what I don't play with. Yeah, I don't play with the
well,
sharks.
shit, if the cold water don't kill you, because that water cold as a bitch. Don't care how hot it
Doesn't
is
depend on what
outside.
ocean you're in. Though. Doesn't depend on what ocean you're in.
Nah, whatever ocean is gonna be it's gonna be cold. But
What's
like, yeah, depending on the ocean, it'll be colder. But like to cool off or boil or change the temperature of the ocean, you know what got to be going on the earth. That's some dangerous shit. They're gonna be
When I say it
like,
depends on when I say it depends on the ocean, also depends on like where you're at, right? If you're closer like to the equator, the water's not that cold. They say. Well, I
the
don't know.
water, but
I'm
no,
not gonna
no,
go with.
the water is always cold.
Well,
It's
I don't know. I'm just
colder.
saying that's what they said. I'm just telling you what these people
But
say. You know, they do
it's not as cold as somewhere like I
in
don't know if you
Antarctica.
guys ever been up there about between Japan and Russia. Oh my god.
Yeah. See, my son.
Oh my god.
My son said the water was. Actually, he's in Japan. He said the water wasn't bad, but he said he was scared though because they have a lot of jellyfish. I said they have sharks out there too. They're gonna bite you on your ass, get your ass back on
Oh,
the damn land.
your son in the Navy now?
No, he in the Air Force. He been in the Air Force.
Air Force. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
When we went to Russia, see, Japan is a bunch of little islands. If y'all didn't know
Mm-hmm.
that, and so, but it's supposed to be one complete island. They got the big chunk of it, but it's a whole lot of islands within islands. And so, one part is a section at the north where that water. I don't know if they call it Sea of Japan. I don't think it is, but it goes. If you look to the left, that's Russia, the edge of Russia, and we would go to Russia, right? But
Mm-hmm.
coming through, girl, a tear. Cause you know how you know when the wind blowing and a little tear come out your eye,
Yeah, like
the
Chicago
shit
cold.
will freeze.
Oh, let me address Anthony, Mr. Jones. Mr. Anthony
Yeah.
Jones, sir. Mr. Sprints is not the bag. Facts is, fighters will make more money fighting Bud than they would the likes of your boy Earl Sprints. Now you better do your fact checking. Do your check your facts before you come on here talking nonsense because we fact check over here. We have our facts together. So take that
and,
BS over there to them Earl Sprints channels, and y'all can sell them damn lies to each other. But over here, we like facts. We like facts over here. This is not fake news. It's not Trump country over here. This is liberal country where we tell the truth. You're welcome, Mr. Jones.
she said, she put the on the end. Anthony Jones, welcome to the building, King. And just in case y'all wonder what she's talking about, they call Errol because he the bag. You can retire out that. He not the bag.
He's not. They don't make more money fighting
Just
him. They make more money
I
fighting
appreciate you,
Bud.
Anthony, for subbing. Thank you for coming into Boxing Fans Talk TV. And don't be a stranger. Come back. Um, but I would say this, Anthony, he's not the bag. He's not even getting the bag. And I have advocated for months, you know, because I think it's fair. I'm always go with what's fair. If he's considered the big fish at PBC and everything, then why PBC hasn't been paying them 10 million plus already? At this point, already they should have been paying them like that, but they don't, and y'all have to ask why. And he said, "How? How do you make more fighting Budrick on BBL Prime? Who is Budrick?
Ask Sean Porter who he made more money fighting. Ask Sean Porter who he made more money fighting. More money fighting
We
Sprints or Bud?
we say it again, Destiny. You was broke up and everything. You was
I'm
chopped to
sorry.
screw.
How about you ask Sean Porter who he made more money fighting against? Ask him, did he make more money fighting fucking One Eye Willie or Bud? I can guarantee you it was Bud. He said it out his own mouth. And then Mickey Garcia, you talking that little fool, the little Garcia boy. What are you talking about those paper? Do you understand how I have explained y'all numbers, how numbers work 1,000 times, and how the pay-per-view buys work, right? You think for a minute that they're getting 100% of those pay-per-view buys, you have to be delusional and out your goddamn mind. I can guarantee you the company, the promotion company is taking at least 60% first. And then that 40% is left over, they get to split that. And then on top of that splitting that they split, they have to pay their managers out of that and whoever else they have to pay out of that. That's how that works. So they're not getting all this back pay, this back money that you're talking about. Why do you think Bud said that to Lil Buddy? Why do you think Bud said he had guaranteed 25 mil a piece for them? Because he know that back end ain't nothing. And that's why Sprints, he was like, well, did you talk to Heyman? That's why you think he said that, because there's no money in that back money, Mr. Jones. Again, check your facts, learn how to do math, because we like math over here. We do. We like math. I like numbers. We like math. So over here, do that. Go over there with your little fanatics, the little Spencerholics, and then you go over there and tell them lies. Okay? Over here, we like truth. Thank you.
Well, wait a minute, Destiny. Is he one of their regulars on the other pages?
Yes, because
Or
he's calling them Budrick. He's definitely a BFBT fan because he's calling them Budricks. That's a stupid ass name. That name is so goofy. Like,
oh
what's that name? Budrick. Okay. Y'all are
oh
so like, not. Y'all don't have no good thoughts at all. Like y'all don't have like no. Y'all not very thoughtful. You're not a thoughtful. panel, a group of people, because y'all say the most outlandish budget. That's the best name you could give Crawford is budget or crawfish. Like, is those the best names you can come up with? Because I have 1,000 different names for your boy. I got from One Eye Willie to Flounder to Finding Nemo. We call him Earl Prince over here. We call him all kind of different names, boo. Y'all got to do better than Budrick and Crawford.
uh, he said, well, if you Google how much EJ pay-per-view sales are Gates and more, Canelo has generated 765 million. EJ has generated 107 million. Bud has generated 24 million. That's what y'all say all the time. But you know what? In the end of the day, if you Google how much they get paid, Bud has always got paid more than Spence did.
And
So
you want
I
to
mean,
hear
I'm
something
just
else?
saying.
Yeah, you have because Earl Spence, Mr. Spence has Mr. Jones buying his damn his stadiums. And we have facts on that too. I can show you the facts on that too. He's buying stadiums for your boy Spence. See, Bud don't have nobody buying stadiums for him. Because I'm pretty sure Bud has people buying his stadiums, you know, the likes of the Cowboy Stadium. I'm pretty sure he'll have the same kind of damn numbers too. Yeah, Mr. Jerry Jones brought his stadiums. That's what goes on over there for your boy Spence, okay? Bud is all him. It's all natural. All natural. He don't have and another thing with Bud, he's not a payola nigga. He's not paying these channels to promote him. He's not giving Miss T no damn money to promote him. But he's damn sure paying those other special holiday channels. Why do you think they go so hard for him? Because he's giving them money. He's a payola ass nigga. That's some clown shit. That's some clown shit. You know, some clown ass channels to take that shit. You're welcome.
My bag, I had a phone call, but I guess she read you, Anthony. I guess they be coming over here or whatever, because it was somebody named Bon Qui. Is he one
That's
of
from
their
H Money
regulars?
Channel. He's from H Money
Oh,
Channel, but yeah, he's a Spencer
okay.
Holic too. Yeah.
Yeah, they was Anthony. And he said, so in the end of the day, like there's another thing that she said all the time. She might have said I was just on the phone, but she always said you don't know the numbers for sure unless they break records. That's something she always used to say.
Yeah, and
They're
that's
not
fact.
gonna tell you, yeah.
Yeah, the pay per view guys, you would never know the true numbers. Oh, then that come from pay per view themselves. They do not fact check their numbers. Pay per view does not do that unless it's breaking records. And the last person that broke a record on pay per view was who? Mr. Money Mayweather himself. These niggas ain't breaking no records. I can guarantee you the numbers that they're reporting is not the numbers they're really doing. Why do you
And
think
and
Bob
and
Aaron I'm always be saying that?
and Spence have never got over 350,000 pay per view buys. Now match 350,000 up to 4.6 million. That's a drop in the bucket. It's not even worth talking about when you talking about numbers. So he's not a star. Like, I don't see how with the standards they're using to call certain people a star. You're not even nowhere near a million, but you on the
You're
low
not
end
fair. Yeah,
of half
you're
a
when you
million.
saw his
So
last pay per view fight when he fought the boy the Danny Garcia boy. It only did 215,000 supposedly, and that was during the
and
pandemic. I really don't think it did that much. It probably did more like 75K. I think that's what
and
Bob
the
Aaron said. That's what it did, anyways.
and when they first came out with the numbers with the Ugas fight, it was one something. Now if you look it up, it say 240. That ain't shit. But Anthony, he said I like Bud too. He pissed me off with the amnesia shit. Do tell Anthony why would that piss you off? Like, you got name. I'm interested in hearing. And I mean, if you want to chime in, if I'll drop the link, Anthony, we ain't gonna beat you up.
He ain't
You
gonna beat
know,
you up, but yeah,
her
I
her
mean,
bark
because he
her bark is worse than her bite. She ain't gonna bite you unless you ask her. It ain't. He said it ain't my money. You know, we get it. He said PBC don't typically put up a high again. That's not an excuse to use though. They ain't paying you right. Now you know that whether you want to or not, you should. I mean, if you're a business and you done made money off these people and you're a sound business, then you should have the money. If you got 50 million for Canelo and 10 million for Caleb Plant,
um
you can never
right.
ever say you ain't got no money. I don't fuck with no H money. He
I didn't
said he
say it
don't.
was just not. I said Bon Quick
Not
Quick.
yeah,
It's from
Bon
H
Quick
Money.
Quick. She was talking about somebody else, Anthony.
Yeah,
But I
not you,
dropped the
sweetheart.
link, Anthony. Do come in. Like I said, we're not gonna bite you unless you want us to. It's
Yeah, but
I
don't
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 think
feel with
they
it.
pay niggas for For real. Somehow you got in my algorithm.
algorithm.
Oh, okay.
No,
Floyd
they do.
first pay per view was
I'm not talking about,
350.
YouTube paying these cats. I'm talking about your boy Sprint's paying out his own money. He's paying out his own pocket these channels, and I know for a fact. I got actual inside information. I know for a
Oh,
fact.
yo,
Paying certain
listen.
channels.
Hold tight.
I'll
I'm
tell
gonna
you
get you to
offline, Miss
break
T.
that. No, you
Yeah,
gonna break that shit now. Floyd first pay per view was 350. Anthony, we're not talking about Floyd. I said Spence highest pay per view was about that, and I think
supposedly.
that was what Mikey Garcia. I
And
think,
that was supposed. That
and
was a
he and
supposed.
he and he has been on a decline. You know, all those other fighters like the Sean Porter, the Kell Brook, not the Kell Brook, the Sean Porter, the
Danny
Danny
Garcia
Garcia, and
and
all
Uga.
them came, and Ugas. They all came afterwards. But listen, yeah, Anthony's in the house. Then don't beat him up, Destiny.
I can
Hey,
be Mr. Jones.
Anthony, how you doing, King?
How are you doing, Mr. Jones? Can you hear us?
He's on mute for some reason. You on mute?
You got to unmute yourself, Mr. Jones. Hit the mic
Yeah,
button.
unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. How y'all ladies doing tonight? I'm good.
We good.
Oh,
You don't want
sweetheart.
us to bite you now, right?
I
You.
mean, y'all sound good to me either way, but it's just a different perspective. I ain't really tripping off that. But I
Mhm.
only got like a quick minute because I'm at work.
Okay.
Oh,
But the amnesia fight, the only reason the amnesia fight really irked me is because I was so excited for the Spence fight. Like we've been waiting on this shit for like 5 years, and Spence never called out Bud. Bud said he wanted to fight him. Spence said, "I'll get your belt after I get my belts." He got his belt, so it's time. And to just have another tomato can type fight, it just fucking sucks. Like, yeah, it's a money grab if you really getting 10 million. Kudos to you. Like, Bud is a great family man. He's a very good fighter. I don't know if he can beat Earl Spence, but I like both guys. I want to see him fight as bad as I don't want to see him fight because like they're
Well,
two of my favorite dudes. You know what I'm saying?
right, but
mhm.
But the
why you think that these fights that's not happening? Why you think the Spence
well,
and Bud fight didn't happen?
to be quite honest, I think PBZ is looking at the analytics, and the analytics it showed like Keith Thurman. I don't even like this goofball, but it shows that like basically they're not sure if as much as people talk about the fight and they want the fight, they're not sure if it's going to generate what they expect it to. Like the reason they paid Canelo all that damn money is because for some reason he do stupid numbers. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
he
He's
does
got a
numbers in
support, and
Mexico.
typically,
He does numbers. That's because he has the Mexicans in Mexico to buy his fights. He don't
yeah,
do
but
those
but I'm
numbers.
saying he don't even do them numbers on the zone and shit. People, motherfuckers tired of Canelo for real. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Canelo should have took the 55 million that he was offered to fight Earl Spence instead of trying to go up there and getting his ass whooped by Bivol. He would have had a better chance beating Spence up. You know what I'm saying? But it's just irritating because Bud always back talks himself. Like as the man, I have nothing bad to say about the man. Earl, typically he don't talk that much, but he usually does what he say he gonna do, win, lose, or draw. He
That's
just
a
ain't
lie.
lost yet.
That's a lie,
Hold on,
Anthony.
hold
That's a
on,
lie. Because
Destiny. Hold on,
okay,
Destiny. I know she
I'm
want to
saying
go on attack.
typically
He just
from what
saying
I
his
hear,
piece.
and every time I've heard the man speak, he's never even shitted on Bud. Like when I hear Bomac and them talk about Spence, they talk
But
mad crazy about him. Like mad
see,
crazy. Like he's never shitted on him as a man. Bud told people, "Oh, y'all should boycott the Ugas fight because he's not fighting me." And it's like he was like, "Man," he was like, "I'm streaming that shit." And Earl was like, "I would never, if I'm gonna support you, I'm gonna buy your fight. I would never encourage people to not support another black man." Like they talk a lot of personal shit, and it's like, okay, now it's time to get in the ring, and you saying you just gonna wax him like he trash, and it's not like you ever fought anybody really good. Like his
who is
best competition has been Sean Porter. I don't know who the fuck Bud fought that was good to y'all,
hey,
but
okay?
Destiny, easily ask him a question. Like I know you got it, Destiny. But I'm gonna let you have
Okay.
it, but easily ask him a question.
Because he's
Like,
not
so,
telling the truth. John, I'm gonna tell you how he's not telling the truth. The first thing he told Bud when Bud first announced he was going to 147, he had two names on his hit list. It was Sprint and Morris Day. And then he moved up there. Both
no,
of them told
it was
him
Keith
that
Thurman and Pacquiao. That's what Bud said. Keith Thurman
no,
and Pacquiao.
no, he
Because
wanted
Spence
to fight.
wasn't that guy yet.
He wanted to fight that idiot back when he was at 135, 140. Is when he wanted to fight the little idiot. He actually wanted to fight at 147 too, but he had two people on his hit list. And then he moves up. The first thing they said, well, he needs to get a belt, right?
He went and
He
got a belt from Jeff Corn.
would have got a belt. That's once he went and got a belt, right? Then he could fight it. He could fight Sprints. And Sprint said he's going to Mr. Easy Road. He was going to go the easy road and go knock out Sean Porter, which he didn't do. He almost lost that fight. Then all of a sudden, I'm gonna collect all the belts on my side of the street. Then he said, "You're on the wrong side of the street, my guy." He told this man everything but let's fight. And then all of a sudden,
but
I'm
soon as he
gonna say the
collected
him
all the
alone.
belts, soon as he collected all the belts, they went into negotiations.
No, we didn't go to negotiations. I'm gonna tell you why they didn't go to negotiations. Bud went to negotiations. Bud went to negotiations. He did not. He never sat down at the table and talked
He don't need to
Crawford.
talk at the table with him because it's Al Heyman handles his business. It's
Yes,
Bud who don't have
exactly. Al
representation now. So
Heyman
that's
has his business. But if he really, if he's the boss, right? That's another lie. He says he's the boss. If he's the boss, why he not at the table? You, you best believe.
okay. But
At the table.
Bud said he agreed to all the terms, and then he signed with BBL Prime.
Yeah,
Like,
he agreed to
you
all
want
the
to know
terms.
what's? I bet you this.
So
This is my prediction, sister.
Hold on,
I don't.
hold on.
I, my
What's
bad.
the
My
name?
bad. My
No,
bad,
no,
dear.
not
My
you,
bad. Go
not you.
ahead.
Give him a chance because he at work, Destiny. Let him
no,
get
This
his
is,
words in.
and,
let him say what he's about to say.
and when
Yeah.
I get off of here, I'm gonna keep listening to y'all, so you can keep
Okay.
talking, and I'm gonna respond back here and there. But I am at work. But I think his next fight gonna be Adrian Broner. Like he's not finna fight Earl Spence or Charlo, because I just don't see it. Because I've never seen him like he fight people, but like the toughest dudes in his division, he never end up going that route. So what has he done to lead me to think he actually gonna fight Earl Spence? He been sitting on that belt.
Mr. Jones, who's the best? Who's your boy Prince's best fighter? Who was his best fighter he fought?
At the time, at first, he just went after everybody with a belt. At first, it was Brooke, Danny Garcia, hella solid, Sean Porter, hella solid, Kell Brook was hella solid, and then Bud beat him better a couple years later. You know
So
what
you
I'm
said
saying?
Danny
But
Garcia. Who did Danny Garcia get
Like
at 7?
Bud fought fucking well. In my opinion, he got a resume full of tune-ups, man. But he's a great fighter to the eye test. But like I just never really seen Bud fight a guy who I actually thought might be able to beat him. Like never, not one time. And EJ off a car accident, I thought Danny Garcia might have knocked him smooth out, but he
You
didn't.
know why
And
you thought that? You know why you thought that? Because that speaks volumes of Bud's skill versus your boy Prince. Because Danny Garcia didn't beat a damn soul at 147. He only won one fight
but
at
he
147.
but
He
he's
only
never
won
but ain't nobody ever just beat the shit out of Danny neither. Or even when Bud knocked out Sean Porter, ain't nobody just beat the shit out of Sean Porter. Sean Porter dead opted. I think he was on his way out, but that ain't the same Sean Porter that fought Oral Spence. It's
That's a
like
lie. That's a whole lie.
he's
That's it. They
just
y'all go to
missing these.
the lie. They y'all
Okay,
go to the lie. That's Prince.
it's
That's
three.
that Earl Spence talk. That's that Earl Spence talk.
Either way, he finished him. Either way, the triangle theories don't work. Either way, both of them was better than the man. I gotta give him credit for it. It ain't his fault that Kenny Porter stopped it. But what I'm saying is, I've never, I've never seen him like take a road to undisputed like Charlo style, like where you just fighting killer after killer.
Was he supposed to
And
take
like,
the undisputed at 140? Who was that 140 that you thought it was going to be Bud?
oh, who would have gave him some good shit? Lipinets.
You know
Lipinets
why?
would have gave him some good shit.
Same kind of fighters. Bud fought the same kind of fighters that Charlo so-called fought. The difference is Bud made it look easy. Bud didn't have to struggle with the likes of a goddamn Castano. Bud didn't have to struggle with the likes of all the fighters Jamel had to struggle with. Bud is a superior boxer. That's why. And every time y'all get mad when these fighters are superior boxers, they make a fight look easy, and all of a sudden they ain't fight nobody. When Bud beat the hell out of who was at one point pound for pound top 10 fighter, was Gamboa, and everybody thought. Matter of fact, did you know Bud was the underdog going into that fight? Did you know that? He was the underdog going into that fight against Gamboa. Gamboa was the favorite. Yeah, and he knocked his ass smooth the hell out when they had Gamboa. Gamboa was that dude at the time. You always forget him. Y'all try to downplay Gamboa. And then when your boy Prince beat Kell Brook, right? Kell Brook was coming off a loss. He was with an orbital bone broken, right? He was coming down back 2 weight classes. Not one, but 2 weight classes. He was coming off a loss and coming down 2 weight classes. Now, when Bud beat your boy Kell Brook, mind you, at the time, oh, he left. Kell Brook had only had one fight. I mean, Kell Brook was coming down of wins, and he was only coming down from one weight class. I don't understand when y'all get off on these whole different things, which saying this man Spence has done all these great things. Who has he beat? Bud has beat more undefeated champions than Spence ever has. Spence only undefeated champion he beat was who?
Mikey Garcia.
He wasn't even a champion though. He just fought him for free. That wasn't even for a belt. I think who did beat Spence beat win for his first belt? No, that was Kell Brook. Yeah, he's only fought one undefeated champion. No, he hasn't fought any undefeated champion for any of his damn belts. He has not defeated any undefeated champion for any of his belts. Yeah, and then they want to talk about something else, Miss T. Let's talk about Ricky Burns fight. They was trying to clown that fight. Oh, Ricky Burns is a nobody. Let's talk about Mr. Ricky Burns. Mr. Ricky Burns is going into the Hall of Fame. He is the only Scottishman to ever be a champion in three different weight divisions, and only the second United Kingdom fighter to be in three different to win belts in three different weight divisions. And that's facts. Y'all can go Google it, and that's facts. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fighters that he beat. Y'all want to always, praise your boy Earl Spence. Who did Kell Brook beat besides Sean Porter that made him such a go-getter? And because most of his fighters was overseas too, they were all European fighters. So what's the difference between Kell Brook and Ricky Burns? They fought European fighters mostly. And Kell Brook barely, he came over here in America and beat up a Sean Porter with the jab. That's what made him great. So, I don't understand this, y'all talking points. Y'all talking points is a bunch of nonsense. You're welcome.
You said that he get off? You done ran the dude off?
Remember he said he was at work, he was going to be responding, though.
Yeah. The
Talking about
numbers
something, he
ain't the
dropped both
same
of
now
them.
like Music Platinum. And I was trying to look for that video while y'all was talking where Earl said, go get a belt from what you call him.
For mom, yeah, go get your you need to go get a belt. And that's what he told he was on Max Kellerman in the show too when he said that. Well, he needs to get a belt first. Saying all that ridiculousness. And then once Bud got a belt, then why would I not go the easy route? Then he became, I'm gonna clean up my side of the street first. All this nonsense. He could have been fought Bud. Instead of fighting a Danny Garcia, he could have came right back and fought a Bud. He could have came back instead of fighting Ugas. He could have fought. What was the difference between him fighting Ugas and Bud? Not a damn thing. They both had a belt apiece. They both had a
Yeah.
belt apiece. He could have fought a Bud. He didn't have to fight the Ugas. That picking my side of the street shit is just that's a duck move. That's a duck move. Ducks say that kind of stuff. Real fighters don't give a damn about what side of the street you on. And they didn't start
yeah.
that side of the street shit till it came down to Bud. Nobody was talking about on the wrong side of the street. You never heard Floyd Mayweather say that. Oh yeah, I can't fight Manny Pacquiao because he's on the wrong side of the street.
I can't remember what E Thriller what you call him he had, but
Oh, I never heard of that man.
shit. The Black Picasso. I can't
Never heard of him.
remember. I can't. You killing me. Um, so I'm just gonna go like right here. Okay, look. So Anthony, I hope you listening. Okay. The one thing I notice, people, is that they don't like to put the dates up here no more. Y'all notice that? Like,
Oh, they start taking down a date.
they taking down the dates. And I don't know what's the purpose of that. Anthony Jones said the numbers ain't the same now. Look, now like Music Platinum ain't no longer a
A million.
million.
Yeah, because it goes platinum on like the streaming services.
I called just knocked me off. A call just knocked me off. I'm still listening. Okay, bro. He said had to reset my phone. I got you. Tim Bradley did he said that shit. Yeah, he said it first, but he was retired when he said it. Floyd, he said Floyd and Pac too so long because of wrong side of the street queen. Floyd
No,
and
that's not
Pac
why it took
too
so long.
so
That's not
long.
why it took so long because of the wrong side of the street. It took so long because Pacquiao didn't want to fight because he didn't want to do a drug test because he was on that good juice. That's why the fight took so long.
Y'all, let's listen in. Hold on. This is not mine. This is educational purposes only. Please, YouTube, do not flag me despite her. But hold on, listen.
A lot of people
just listen.
Want to talk about when I say, oh, we on different side of the streets and things like that. It's true. Like me and Terrence Crawford on different side of the streets. He's just signed with ESPN.
This
I don't
is
fight for ESPN.
you see that now. I'm pause right there. This is 2019 or 2018. One of them years.
I fight for Showtime or Fox. You know what I'm saying? So he's on this side of the street. Al Heyman, you know what I'm saying? And then like Bo Mac said, oh, I guarantee EJ living paycheck to paycheck. I'm definitely not living paycheck to paycheck. I guarantee you, if we check our tax reports at the end of the year, I guarantee I make more than him. He got 3 coaches. We don't know who the head coach is. So I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a way better fighter than Terrence Crawford, who has.
And at this point, let me remind you, Mr. Jones, I think he only had one belt, the IBF. He only was in the welterweight division that we know of. I mean, yeah, somebody say he might have fought at 154, but
When he first came in, yeah,
but
he
I'm
fought like
just
2 or
saying,
3 fights.
but I'm just saying, like he pretty much been a one division person. That's a very arrogant thing to say. I'm way better based on what accolades, based on what your opinions.
He fought.
Because he don't have more accolades than Bud.
Yorkers game boy, the guy that he fought.
Mhm.
I fought Lamar Peterson, Chris Algieri.
Nobody's.
A bunch of nobody.
I mean, and how many fights he got? 30
Kell Brook had a loss.
some fights. You know what I'm saying?
He was coming off a
Like I
loss.
said, he's
And
great
Chris
fighter,
Algieri,
like that,
that's a
but
tune-up fight. Now, you want to talk about a tune-up. That was a tune-up.
Yeah. Hold on.
So was
We go.
Peterson.
put it to me. Like the guy he just fought for the undisputed welterweight, light welterweight champion of the world, Regis Prograis stopped him later than he did.
So he gonna break up in Dongo. So he want to talk about he misspoke. He meant to say earlier than he did, because later than he did, that would be proving it good for Bud. Who cares? The dude was undefeated with 2 belts. I don't care how y'all figure how he got the belt. We don't fucking know. He the motherfucker that had the belt. What Terrence supposed to do? Wait till he lose to somebody that y'all like better and then go fight that person for the belts? Come on, this sound idiotic.
Right.
But he did. But at this point, you hear him saying the guy that he just won, whatever. So already Terrence is in his head. I want to fight you.
That was
He's
at
all
140,
he's
Anthony
he's
Jones.
already comparing himself. My point with this whole video is this is the date when Earl turned on Bud. Bud didn't turn on Earl. Keep listening.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta add it all into conclusion to who you say the top welterweight. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff is smoke and mirrors. That's what Bob Earl do. Bob Earl do a lot of smoke and mirrors. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors with him, and that's how it is with Terrence Crawford. If you name one of y'all, name me a guy he fought. That was top guy. Name me a top guy he fought that's better than Chris Algieri.
Everybody, nigga, shit.
Nah, they're better than Chris Algieri. Name me one guy. Philly Diggs. So you think Philly? I think Chris Algieri beat Philly Diggs.
Miss T, this was around 2018.
He beat
Okay.
the kid. Adongo.
Yeah.
Adongo just got knocked out by Regis Prograis.
So
Later than he did Terrence Crawford.
So
name somebody else.
So Algieri get knocked out too.
He got knocked out by Montana Love. Not Montana Love, but the boy, the little juicer boy.
He hit back, he folded. When Pacquiao hit him back, he folded. Easy. Undisputed at 140, but it's smoke and mirrors. Jeff Horn. I thought Manny Pacquiao beat him. And I thought Manny Pacquiao beat him again. Jeff Horn. Who had Jeff Horn beat?
Manny Pacquiao, nigga, shit.
Who had Jeff Horn beat? Name somebody Jeff Horn beat. Who?
Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah. Like I said, Bob Rahman, he's a great promoter. Smoke and mirrors, like I said. All the time.
You know what? Just talk about that real fast, Miss T. That's another thing I want to point out too, right? They want to talk about, because he beat Ugas, right? He beat Ugas. Ugas was coming off of the best win of his career. Ugas, that was the best Ugas career period, was beating Manny Pacquiao. But and he got that little WBA belt from that. But beat Jeff Horn was just coming off of a win against Manny Pacquiao. And also Jeff Horn was undefeated. And your boy Sprints wanted to fight Jeff Horn, who's also on the so-called wrong side of the street. But once Bud got that belt, he didn't want to go over there. He didn't want the belt no more. He didn't want the WBO belt no more once Bud got it. But when Jeff Horn had that belt, he damn sure said he wanted to fight little buddy.
I'm gonna direct you, Anthony, to E Thriller, the Black Picasso, and look at all part 12 of his series, because you're gonna see play by play when Spence wanted to fight Jeff Horn. It was a good idea Jeff Horn just picked up the belt. And then when he didn't want, when they devalued the belt, now the belt ain't shit because Bud actually got it. But when Spence wanted it, it was good. Now you just heard him say, who did Jeff Horn never beat? Like, this is 2018. Y'all got to open y'all mind. This is 2018. Who did Jeff Horn ever beat? And you hear me in the background of Destiny saying Manny Pacquiao. But he knows that. But he's basically putting that down, right? Then explain to us, Errol Spence, why last year in 2021, some 3-4 years later, you want to fight Manny Pacquiao. If he won't shit when Jeff Horn beat him, why you want to fight him instead of Bud, the one with the other piece to the puzzle? We'll wait, but we ain't gonna get no answer. That's the shit that be sounding so fucking crazy. But let me keep playing because he says a lot in this interview.
Anybody you name, I can argue with that statement every time.
Oh, by the way, this resume and all that, who's the better opponents, who had the better opponent, it started from this shit right here. Before that, nobody was saying that shit.
It's a good fight. I got a tape of me beating Benavidez in sparring, punishing him. Yeah, punish him and sparring. Benavidez is a good fighter though.
Okay. Regardless of the street, wouldn't you love? Regardless of the street, wouldn't you love to fight Terrence Crawford? Wouldn't that be a spectacular fight? Just fantasy. Wouldn't it be great?
Like, it's a big money fight because a lot of people, drinking the Kool-Aid.
Look, there's a lot of streets in boxing right now. There's a lot of streets. But that being said, if the fight gets big enough somewhere down the road, and we're talking about a lot of
somewhere down the road,
then somewhere down the road they'll find a way to make the fight.
But at the end of the day, I feel like me and Keith Thurman is the fight to make. Like a lot of people bring up Terrence Crawford, Keith Thurman been inactive. But when Keith Thurman come back and when he has a great fight,
proving that Errol Spence had only one belt at the time. Keith was belt tight over there, and that's why he wanted Keith. And because Keith then really was pressed for him, then he had a grudge against Keith. But I'm gonna keep going. This is what he said.
And he, he shows that, what he's been showing in the fights with Danny Garcia and Sean Porter. Everybody's gonna be talking about Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these fans and stuff. A lot of these fans and these reporters, they live in the moment. You know what I'm saying? They talking about Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, this and that, but they were just talking about Errol Spence and Keith Thurman. So once he comes back and he has a great fight, they're like, what about Errol Spence and Keith Thurman? So
there are a lot of great fights that could be made easier right now because they're within the sphere that we're operating in. And Keith Thurman, if he didn't injure his hand again, would have been back in the ring already this fall. Unfortunately, turn of luck, and he injured his hand again. But got to remember, Keith Thurman beat both of those guys that were in the ring tonight.
Definitely. And like I said, Terrence Crawford on the wrong side of the street.
Wrong side of the street.
Me, it's Danny Garcia. We got Sean Porter. We got Keith Thurman. We got Ugas. We got a lot of fighters over here. Who he has? If he was an A-level.
So if he was an A-level, how can you even say that? He's been undisputed. If he was an A-level
fighter, Bob Ray would have been gave him the fight with Manny Pacquiao, but he gave it to Jeff Horn. Why is that? It doesn't matter. Pacquiao didn't win. That's his promoter. Why didn't he give it to him? That's the top guy. Top guy is Terrence Crawford. So why didn't he give him that fight and he gave him to Jeff Horn? And that's supposed to be your dude. Catch you, Bob. It's all facts. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, he gonna say something, y'all.
I mean, like I said, he's on the wrong side of the street. That's why he's calling out. Who's he calling out? Who's he calling out? All Heyman guys, right? All right. How you gonna get that fight when he just signed with ESPN? I'm not going to ESPN at all. I'm not going to ESPN at all. Because the big money fights and the fights that is really gonna get made and the fights I'm really gonna make is it with Showtime and Fox Sports. And Fox. That's the fights I'm gonna make. He's talking about, I got $3 million guaranteed. All right. You see 1.5 on paper, right? That's cool.
Man, you're talking too much now.
That's cool.
All right. Errol,
that's cool. Bo Mac can say what he wants. That's cool.
dude is tripping. He gonna say I'm the A side. That's what I'm waiting on.
I'm A side. I'm A side. Like I said, Terry Crawford got to come across the street.
Exactly. That's all I wanted to play. So Anthony, and for y'all who be out there like listening to us and see what the deal with us about Earl Spence, you got to think he had one belt
One.
when he said this.
He had barely got that belt that year too against the boy. That was his first belt ever in 2018. Mind you, Bud got his first belt way back in 2012. But you're welcome.
But I'm sorry, when did now I can't remember. I think Bud had just won his belt off of Jeff Horn. And you
Yeah, he
said
just beat
I'm
Jeff
the
Horn.
A side. You said I'm the A side. The arrogance of it all because I'm on PBC. Now, when we talk about PBC, a lot of people get butthurt and they be like, oh, that's not true with the PBC. Y'all gonna see. Because I know there's been a switch up at Disney. And Disney own what is it? Fox
Paramount.
Sports.
Yeah,
Fox
Paramount.
Sports and shit. And if they own Paramount, then they own Showtime. So how did Earl put it? A man with no land. That's what Earl about to be, a man with no land.
No,
Because
what it was
Fox is
Paramount.
gone.
I'm sorry, Paramount owns Showtime, right?
Showtime.
And what it was, the CEO of Paramount wanted to get rid of show. That's why PBC wasn't making no fights. This when Buddy said that why Bud didn't make the fight. It had nothing to do with Bud. PBC couldn't make the fight because the dude from Paramount wanted to get rid of Showtime because he said the Showtime was losing money. I think they lost like over 500,000 subscriptions or something like that. And he was going to try to, get rid of Showtime and make it just Paramount. Showtime just be Paramount or whatever.
But see,
And
what's probably gonna happen is Paramount because they got a app out there you can subscribe. I
yeah,
got
exactly.
Paramount Plus, and all the shows that Showtime been showing is gonna wind up in the queue of the Paramount. But when I was talking about Disney, let me tell y'all, I showed y'all did a whole show of the breakdown how Disney owns Fox Sports, which is going to be called Bally Sports, which Terrence Crawford is partnership with. You can believe
Uh-huh.
it or don't believe it. Also, Disney owns ESPN. So if PBC needs a network, who they got? Because if Paramount restructures Showtime and cancel out, which more than likely that's what's going to happen, and cancels out
Showtime.
Showtime altogether, then who they got? You know what I think they're going to run with? They're going to run to the Zone.
Or they're going to make their own app, or they're going to make their own app like the Zone did. They're going to make the PBC app then if they don't go to the Zone.
They're going to run to the Zone because why else would Floyd be over there fighting? Or I just had a fight over there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Floyd do work with the PBC. We just don't know how extensive or how critical his involvement in the PBC is. But I believe that that's going to be the next network that they're going to shoot for because they're going to want a network. Them having an app, everything y'all say about BLK will go for PBC too. Y'all about to be a man with no land, as Earl said, and all them 200 some stable fighters. What y'all gonna do? Where y'all gonna fight?
I mean, everybody's
Is you
going
gonna
to the
care
app
about
way,
across the street?
right? Because everybody's going to the app way anyway. Actually, you could download the Showtime app on your TV and your phone and everything like that. Because I don't have cable. We just have internet and we just use the apps. I don't have the cables.
But that's what I'm
Why would I
saying.
have cable?
Anthony, you said, but I think Bud gonna duck.
He never
Spence
ducked his soul in his
has
life.
been ducking. Spence has been ducking this whole time. That's why I told you go look at that part. Don't even take my word for it. Dude did a series, and it's not that long, and you can go through each series, and he shows receipts out the horse's mouth. And then if you walk away and don't say that Earl Spence was not the one ducking, I don't know what to tell you. But as Destiny said, the first thing he said, go get a belt, go fight Jeff Horn. He over there will buy. He on your side of the street. Go get a belt, Bud. Go get a belt. Then they meet up in the hallway after the Maurice Hooker fight. And Bud was bringing it back up to him. He said, I got a belt, so what's up? He said, now I got a belt. Keith Thurman want to go over here, and you want to go over there. And then Spence so-called called Bob Arum. I mean, not Bob Arum, Al Heyman. And, the Wizard of Oz he made a direct call to Emerald City and shit. And then, they was like, they gave him a list of people to fight. And Bud said, no Crawford. He didn't mention my name. And Spence said, no, he didn't mention your name. And then that's when Crawford said, you think you slick or you think you smart, but you're not that smart or something like that. So that was his second plan. First, it was get a belt. I got a belt. Oh, we still can't fight? Okay, what else? Let me clean up my side of the street. Okay, you clean up your side of the street, and then you still can't fight. They don't want it, and it's not so much. I don't put all of the desire on Earl's shoulders. It's PBC more than anything. But what makes Earl guilty is he's complicit in this shit. He's competing with them. That makes him just as worse. That makes me think you don't want to fight either, because you can be an antagonist or you could be whatever. And I think God moves and the boxing God moves in mysterious ways, because all of that shit, in a sense, going to play out whether he fights Keith Thurman. Because think about it. He emphatically said he don't want to fight Keith Thurman. They emphatically want him to fight Keith Thurman. That shit is going down. Now, if he don't do it, that would be the first time he defied them. And if he defied them then, why the fuck he can't defy them now? That's my question. That's why I say, if he fights Keith Thurman or don't, I'm roasting him. Because if you can defy him then, why you can't defy them now?
Because he a duck.
Because he a duck. What kind of contract or hold do Al Heyman have on you? Is it an expiration date on that motherfucker? Do it even matter? All y'all that got contracts with Al Heyman, I'll take them to court. Because from what I hear, even when you get out of contract, he reserves the right to call you back. Listen, this is a true story. Everybody who retired from the military know this. And I guess the other branches the same, but I know the Navy is. I'm always in the Navy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. You can always be called back up. Yeah.
Yeah, if we call it Fleet Reserve. They can always call me back up, but do them bitches ever do? No, they never probably will. And even if they call you back up, you got to go through a physical, which I promise you I won't pass. And so, so I'm pretty much done. But you always on the hook, right? So that kind of contract that Al Heyman got, you can't have no locked in contract like that for the rest of a person's life. You can't.
Yeah, that's like, because once you took that oath to the Constitution, when you signed took that oath to that Constitution, yeah, you in for they did. It say Miss T committed a crime right in the Navy, right? And she did like a crime that, let's just say, for instance, you did some money laundering or racketeering, which there's no statute of limitation on there. And they find out now, even though she's been out the military 1,000 years, they find out now they can make her put on back her damn uniform and she can go get a court martial. That's how the military works.
Yeah,
she'd be right there in her damn uniform, hot as hell, mad as hell.
But they put on that uniform, I promise you, I won't pass the physical first.
You ain't gonna pass the physical, but they give you a court martial.
That's gonna be the delay. Because before you got put on that, you got to pass that physical to come back in. I promise you, I won't pass it. Anthony Jones said boots.
What about Boots?
Boots got in line with the IBF. He could have got in line with the WBA, WBC, and WBO, but he got in line with the IBF. The facts are the facts. I can't hide this. You can't. You can go look at the things he said over the years. He has been gunning for Earl Spence. Now, Bernie the Boxer recently, and I'm talking in the last week, has came out and said, Boots, this is how you talk. You say it like this, and I guarantee you, you'll pique our interest if you want to fight with us. He said, you can't be Millie Mousing around. You got to say, nigga, I want you, and I'm going to beat the fuck out you. He said, Terrence Crawford going to be like, what? What did somebody say? That's fighting the foot? And he'll come get your ass. But that's what Bernie said in the last week. But up until that point, Boots won't call him for no Terrence. He was calling for Earl
And then look
for
at
the
this too.
most part.
See, they also want to bring up the boy, the Virgil Ortiz boy, right? The Virgil Ortiz boy called out his name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Terrence Crawford specifically tweeted at the Virgil, and then you know what the Virgil boy did? Man, you know, I had to say pretty much. He was like, "I'm sorry." Pretty much, say, "I'm sorry." I had to say what I had to say. They had me on the spot, kind of thing. Was his reply to Bud? Yeah, none of these niggas, they
Mm-hmm.
don't want to fight. Bud is the boogeyman. Even Jamel said he didn't want to fight because he was too busy. Nigga, who says that? How do you know you're too busy? You
Exactly.
know you're too busy already. You didn't know what Bud's trying to fight you, but he's too
And,
busy.
and Oscar De La Hoya said himself that Virgil wasn't ready. That's Oscar. I ain't mad at Virgil if he ain't ready. If you're not ready, you supposed to do a lot of preventative stuff because boxing ain't nothing you play. It's absolutely something you do, but it ain't nothing you play. If you're not ready mentally, physically, or whatever, don't get in the ring. I advise anybody that because
Yeah,
you're not
exactly.
less of a man to say that. Even a professional fighter, if you out of shape and shit, don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
No
Because
need to take an
it's
L for free.
yeah, no need to take a L, a loss, a potential loss of life or limb, just to please us. We not worthy. You know what I'm saying? He said Jeff Rob Pac-Man, but
That's a lie.
that's not here or there. That's what they called it. That has nothing to do with Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence. Everyone want the Pac-Man bag. Bud wanted Pac too. Yeah, and Pacquiao, he everybody wanted the Pac-Man bag. You right. And Pac-Man was willing to fight everybody too. You right. But
Yeah,
he
but Bud was
wasn't
trying to
willing
fight.
to fight Bud because for Bud to fight Bud, he wanted 40 million.
Yeah, exactly. And Bud was calling his name out way back in 24, even for your boy Floyd Mayweather beat him up.
Mm-hmm.
Bud was calling out Pacquiao. He was at 130, 135 trying to fight that man. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, I'll move up. He ain't had no problem. Bud ain't have no problem moving up to go fight Pacquiao.
But
That's how confident he was.
but
That's some tough
Pac-Man
shit.
settled. He settled for like what was it, 5 million to fight Spence.
Yeah, it was something small, very small. I think it was
But
12.
but he wanted 40 million to fight Bud, and that wasn't gonna happen. And then you heard Bob Arum himself. Yes, they was on the same side of the street, but Bob said he knew that Bud would crush him, and he
Yeah, he
didn't
said he
want
didn't
it,
want
he
to.
didn't want that to happen to Pacquiao. I mean, what do you do at that pace? Like you, all that to say, there's no jacket that can be placed on Bud's back. He
And
said, I got to check out. Hopefully, we get this goddamn fight. Yeah, hopefully. But keep grinding. He said, keep grinding. We'll do.
Anthony, Mr. Jones, let me ask you a question. Outside of the Tyson Fury boy, Bud was the second highest paid on ESPN. So Bud wasn't generating no money for ESPN. Why would they offer him all that kind of money? And no offense, so I don't want nobody to take it the wrong way, but Bob Arum was a Jewish guy. Jewish people, we know one thing for sure, and one thing's for certain, two things for sure. They don't play about their money. And ain't no way in the world he would have offered that man that kind of money if he wasn't generating no money back for him. Jews are they're very, money tight. That's why the word tight, that's where that saying tightwad comes from. It really does come from, they saying Jews tight with money or whatever.
Well,
Yeah, he's a
they're good with their finances, where they can maximize their potential earnings more so than anybody else. They're good with,
right.
and that's just them using their brains, and that ain't got nothing to do with their race. It's just them using their brains, and this is something they cultivated within their culture. This is a emphasis that they put on their culture or their family to pay attention to those details. Blacks, every racial group has an emphasis that they put on their family or their traditional culture or whatever that they put emphasis on. For us, we put emphasis on sports and physical shit, and that's why we
Mm-hmm.
excelled at it. And for others, whoop the whoop the whoop. But yeah, he wasn't losing no money. That was out of anger. Up until he said that, he was fine with Bud, but he realized Bud wasn't gonna come back to him. And then even after Bud left him, Bud still didn't treat him like shit. Bud still break bread with him, I'm sure, because they had a good little relationship. But Bud is just holding him accountable because
Mm-hmm.
people would come back and say, "Why he sue him?" because he didn't honor the contract. How else you gonna get? What he gonna Bud gonna hold? How you want Bud to get his money? Go put the gun to his head? Because I'm gonna need you to run me my 9 million or whatever it is the total tally of what he owe him. I'm gonna need you to run me all my monies. Because when you factor in the fees and this, that, and the other and everything, come on, Shawty. You gotta think Bud gotta pay them sanction fees every year. I want my money. You supposed to have 2 fights a year. We missed one, that's 5 million. You didn't give me Earl, that's another million. So, and whatever extra shit that you owe me, I need my money. I can't put a gun to your head and make you give it to me. So the only thing I can do is take you to court. I ain't asking for 100 million or 50 million. I'm just asking for what you owe me. That's it. Next time, pay your motherfucking bills. Anthony Jones said, offend the Jews all you want. They played a great part in the slave trade. Fuck it. I can't read that.
I mean, I agree with you, Anthony, on what you're saying, but this YouTube, and she ain't trying to get her channel flagged and shut down for, they consider that hate speech or whatever. So you got to tread lightly with some people.
I would say for the record, y'all, I don't agree with that. I don't live in that world, y'all. It's time for us to move on past certain things. We could call what they still doing. Only time I get mad at anything from the past is if people act like they didn't learn from the past and they continuing to do something. Like it's like when you're raising your kids. If your kid that heard you day in and day out for the last 8 years, wash your face, brush your teeth, first thing in the morning. And then they get up and they downstairs interacting and shit. And you be like, God damn it. Then I tell you to wash your goddamn face and brush your teeth. And you can clearly see they didn't do it. You be looking at them like, what the fuck, is you retarded or something?
Kids, yeah.
Because you've been saying it for the last 8 years. How can you forget? How come you not learning? I whipped your ass 2 months ago because you went out my house to a party and didn't do that, having this whole family looking like boo-boo the food. Like we condone that shit. And I gave your ass for it. I put you on punishment because you refused to do that shit. I'm just giving an example. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we always want to be respectful.
It's time for Bob old ass to move on though. He needs to go ahead and let it go. He's already 1,000 years old. Like I don't know why he's still doing.
We don't need to rush that. That's in God's hand. You cause yourself issues when you do. I think not. I'm not pointing at you, Destiny, but I'm just saying you in general. Like you all, like all of us. You don't need to rush it. Just in God's time. God ain't never late. He ain't. I know you. Yeah, that's right.
He needs to retire. That's what I'm talking about. He needs to retire from the boxing.
He not, and it's like
want to smoke his weed like he do, and just let boxing.
And that's probably what's keeping his ass alive. To tell you the truth, Anthony Jones said, "My bad, no problem, King, no problem." We just want to be respectful here. I don't know what happened to Destiny. She fell out. We want to be respectful here. That's all. So, yeah. In the end of the day, when it comes to them two, if he comes back, I'm just sitting here biting my time. When it get closer to Keith Thurman, I'm laughing either way. They really cornered him, but he has nobody to blame but his own big ass mouth. I'm not fighting Keith Thurman. I hate that dude. Okay, we're going to see how much pull you really got. And then if you defy him, now I'm going to turn back and be like, so what was this last 5 years about while we was waiting on the fight with you and Terrence? Because you leave it all up to Al then. Why you couldn't defy Al then? Mr. I'm my own boss. See, you caught, Earl. You are caught between a rock and a hard place. I mean, it's a catch-22 for you.
Yes, because he's a liar. He's a damn guy. He's a damn liar.
Ooh. And she wasn't here. She wasn't here the other day. I know ATL listening. Destiny wasn't here the other day when I kept calling him a liar. Yeah. Earl Spence. And she said the same thing. We don't got the same brains, y'all, I promise.
We sure don't. We making it up. All he do is when it come down to Bud.
Said Bob's plan was attach Bud name to EJ like he did attaching Pac to Floyd. for a super fight. Like Fury don't do numbers without Wilder. Bob signed him for the super. He didn't have to with Bud. But you know what? When Bob put him on regular ESPN, a free fight, I think Bud had the highest fight views on ESPN
Sure did.
ever, either ever or then. He had the highest. And so if he'd have had him on regular pay per view, because during that time they tried to take Bud and make him be the face of that app, but that app was a piece of shit. And I'm not blaming the app and saying that nobody could. That's the reason why Bud ain't get as many views. I'm saying that they gonna lie numbers away. I wouldn't give. I wouldn't give a care because
They
if
fired
Bud.
in the first place, Miss T. First, remember when they first came out, it said it was 190,000. Then it went down to
Mm-hmm,
like 175,000. Then it went down to 125.
mm-hmm,
They
yeah.
took back to that's when your boy Bob Aaron was all in his promotions because Bud left his ass on live TV and kind of dissed him. And that's when he was in his promotions. I know he had everything to do with those numbers being all over the place.
Y'all remember Jerry used to come in here? Y'all hit the like and subscribe button, please, if you haven't already.
And Bud
Y'all
no
remember
all his
when
mob.
Jerry hold on. Y'all remember when Jerry used to come in here and one of me and Jerry's biggest argument was I said, Jerry, these motherfuckers do what they want to. It ain't always about the money. T is business. They will never throw away money. Well, either they are or they not. But I think that they are, because think about it. Bob paid Terrence a lot of money for somebody who made him lose money and was willing to run it back with Josh Taylor after Terrence left. Right? Think about it like that. Now you got BLK. BLK is an upstart. I mean, they was doing their thing, or they would have grew or whatever without Terrence Crawford, I'm sure. But they landed the deal of the century with Terrence Crawford. Now, based on his numbers and his popularity or his accolades, they was like, let me give this nigga the bag. Like, y'all really think that there's no smart people? You think it's Johnny
Doing
from the 10th grade putting this shit together? Or you think it's some real smart people over there trying to put this shit together? And
crunching
and
numbers
and
over there. Yeah,
yeah,
crunching numbers.
so they crunching numbers and they looking at this nigga's value. And based on the numbers that they crunch, as Destiny said, they said we got to get this man 10 million. But now all them other channels and Earl fans and all that, they want to say how valueless Terrence Crawford is. And some people believe it like it's gospel. But
Mm-hmm.
Terrence, every time, be debunking everything that you guys say about him in a negative aspect. And it's negative to say something. What I call negative, Anthony, is not necessarily what you're saying, but when I'm talking about negative aspect, is when you're saying things about somebody, presenting them as facts, and they be straight lies. That's negative to me. Me saying that Earl Spence has an alcohol problem, that's not negative. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And that
Me saying,
accident wasn't his first accident either with alcohol involved. That was like the one that really put it in the forefront. But he had an accident before that one. He's
yeah,
alcoholic.
he had an accident after that one too. Not an accident, he
Okay.
got pulled over.
So he got
He had
pulled over.
I'm gonna say incident involving drinking and driving. So if I call him an alcoholic, because alcoholics call themselves alcoholics, even when they've been sober for 20, 30 plus years, they still call themselves alcoholics. But to call you, because like when I quit smoking, and I've been trying, y'all, I'm gonna still call myself a smoker, because if I try to act like I'm not that, it's like it's one of them trigger things that you can slip back into that groove. So alcohol is a disease anyway, so I don't take it lightly. But if I call him an alcoholic, that's a fact. That's not me being negative. If I say he's ducked Terrence Crawford for the last 5 years, to me that's a fact, because I'm going by what I see. You
He could have
know,
fought Chance Crawford 5 years ago and they could have had a rematch now. Shit.
for them. I'm going by
Yeah.
what I see. If he say he's man down promotion, he's his own boss, which we all heard him say that, but he doesn't defy Al ever. I do what Al said. I don't even show up to the meetings. I don't even negotiate myself. I just put it all in Al's hand, and that's how you been doing. But I bet your ass show up for the meetings on this one with Keith Thurman because you don't want to fight Keith Thurman. We're gonna see if you defy Al or you comply with Al.
He's gonna comply with Al. Anthony Jones, that's not true because they even showed the complaints that people that Apple was getting because of that, especially for older people that was trying to buy the fight and they did not understand. My mama didn't understand how to use that damn app because at first you had to like put it on your phone, then you had to cast it to your damn TV. If you couldn't put the ESPN app on your TV, it was a whole lot of issues with that app, and it was true. And they had a lot of complaints about that app. You
But
may look it
Anthony
up. You can
Jones,
Google it.
that statement you're saying it wasn't the app, it was the opponents. Bob was giving Bud to expect you to pay for. Now, if that's true, that means that his true fans wouldn't, didn't like the opponents, and we was gonna pay for a Bud fight no matter who he fought. That's number one. Number two, um, we know that Bud was on the so-called wrong side of the street. That Earl Spence tell it. It's the wrong. Nobody in boxing have ever did their careers like that. Again, Tim Bradley said it first, but he was retired when he said it. Earl is the first person, and as an active fighter, who came up with that. That's an excuse. If we had boxing long before any of us even hit this earth, and nobody gave a care, and there was always one or more, three or more promoters in the game or something, and nobody ever said that shit until now. Now that's an issue, you know.
Both fought other PBC fighters. Felix Diaz was a PBC fighter, and he wasn't on the wrong side of the street. He beat up Felix Diaz, and mind you, that's when Felix Diaz was like the top. He was not even he was not a prospect. No, he was a contender at that point, and everybody was like, "Oh, Bud is ducking Felix Diaz. He's ducking him. He's ducking him. He's ducking him." Bud got in that ring and beat the hell out that damn boy.
Was
And then all of
Lamar
a sudden he was a
Peterson
nobody. Then all of a sudden he was
was
a nobody. Huh?
was Lamar Peterson a PBC fighter? I
Yeah,
don't
he was a
think he was.
PBC fighter.
He
He was a
was.
PBC. Mm-hmm.
But check this out. All along, when Earl wanted to fight Keith Thurman, that fight never happened. So there goes the theory of if you was on the right side of the street, then we would get it in. That never happened. They
Never.
showed what's his name, Keith Thurman more favored than they did Earl back then. But once
Mm-hmm.
Keith like fizzled out for real, and took a chill pill, Earl was there sucking in line. So now they showing him you just a warm body, dude. You just a body with a pulse. You know what I'm saying? You said before the accident, I picked Bud. After the accident, it's a way more focused. EJ, I got EJ. Let's see if the see. And for me, it didn't matter before or after the
After.
accident. I still had Bud. But if I was gonna use that as a calculus, I'm gonna always go with the person who didn't have an accident because I don't care what nobody say. You go through some traumatic shit, you ain't never the same. That we know. All you need is somebody to take you there. Um, and that BLK Prime Company, huh?
How does he know they only worth $5 million? How do you know they only worth $5 million?
Yeah.
That doesn't
Oh, so let
those
me read.
numbers don't make sense.
He said, and that BLK Prime Company paying 10 million, but they worth 5 million. I see the return on the investment. How? Yeah, that's a good question that Destiny asks. How do you know? Come with numbers that
Come
tells
with
you
that.
that it's not worth 5 million. Because you know what, Anthony, with BLK, there's no middleman. It's no middleman.
It's straight down.
Straight
It's
to
kind of
them.
funny that you would know how much they're worth. They don't really put those things out there, what their worth is, what their company is worth. They just did a big sign deal with somewhere in Belize. Well, I think they did like a 50 or $30 million deal with them in Belize,
Mm-hmm.
and that was in 2019. So please do enlighten me. How do you know they're worth $5 million when they
And
did a
look,
30 million?
Regis Progress just had a fight on Triller last night. I mean, Saturday night.
Yeah.
He didn't have a fight with PBC because he was supposed to be with Pro Bellum, but then all that hoopla started happening with that dude, with that
Mm-hmm.
criminal dude, and so everybody just now starting to bounce back, but he had a fight under Triller, not PBC.
And that's a whole lot, Anthony Jones. You're saying that his advisors that Canahan do. That was never Bud's advisor. Bud went and met with him when he left. He was about to leave ESPN. He went and met with the man before he ever became on the radar of, America's Most Wanted or whatever, to see what he was talking about. And he met with him. I guess he didn't like what he was talking about, and Bud moved on. Then Bud just
Bud,
decided to become his own man.
Bud said he agreed, then got amnesia. That as Destiny pointed out, and I pointed out several times, I don't know how to be more clear. And if you think about it logically, he got to pick people from the WBO. It would be illogical to go to the WBC, WBA, where he's not even ranked, and pick somebody from there. He can't cut the line. He should start with the WBO. And from number one is Virgil Ortiz. He told them, he told Bud and them, he not ready. Oscar De La Hoya said it. Even Virgil's team said it. We're not ready. So there's no fight there. Boom. Number 2 to number 5, all PBC. If I can't get PBC to agree to me and Earl, why would I sign a fight with PBC and somebody else? That don't make sense. That is being illogical and stupid on Bud's part.
And their PBC won't even let him fight the fight on PBC then.
Right. The number 6 on that list on the WBO is David Avanesian. He picked the best that he could pick out of the choice that he made. PBC doesn't want to pay Bud. So that means list 2 to number 5, PBC fighters, PBC ain't gonna pay him.
Well, let me tell you something, Anthony. Let me show you how I'm gonna bust your bubble real fast, right? Because y'all always be underestimating these European fighters, and everybody be saying like, "Who is this guy? This European guy, right?" And to beat them European guys, then we be like, "Oh, who is this bum?" They come in and sometimes beat the hell out of an American, right? Just like everybody thought. People kept underestimating Bill. I was like one of the few people that thought Bill was gonna beat Cinnamon, and everybody else like, "Oh, I don't want to watch this fight. We are another easy pick for Cinnamon." Yeah, they thought so. Yeah, the joke was on damn Cinnamon and his damn fans. Bill beat the hell out that boy. Beat the hell out that boy. Beat that nigga from he beat the English out that man. First Cinnamon was speaking English. Bill beat that man so bad he didn't speak English no more.
Look, Anthony, you said Fight TV. That's the app that it came on. Triller put that event on. I heard him say it in the fight. That was a Triller event. Prograis is he signed with Pro Bellum under Richard Schaefer and Pro Bellum. Fight TV is the one look at Fight TV as the network. Triller is the promotional company, or whatever, if you want, however you want to say it. They're the promoters of that fight. That's how you got to look at it.
Yeah.
So Fight TV, that was one place you could buy it. Bob said it. He said he could have fought Earl or Virgil Ortiz. Who are you talking about, Terrence? If they wanted to fight him, they didn't want to fight him. I don't know what's hard about that neither. They did not want to fight him.
You notice nobody calls out Bud's name. They always call out the damn EJ boy. They always call out Spence. They don't mention that man's name. They do not mention Bud's name unless the only time they say, "Well, yeah, I'll fight him later on." What the hell is later on mean? When is later on? When is later on? Like, it's 5:00 now, so it's later on, like 7:00. What the fuck is later on? They always say that I'll fight him later on. Even your boy Boots, I can beat him, but never calls his name out.
But I know, and that's why Bernie posed that challenge. I'm telling y'all heard it first. If y'all saw Bernie, y'all heard it there. Bernie in the last week kept saying, if you want to fight with Bud, this how you say it. He ain't give him a whole hard ass task. He said, "Boots, come out and say it like this. Say it like you mean it, and watch, won't you get the fight?" And we gonna see. And he said that shit it's been about a week, and we waiting on Boots. Okay, so that's what's gonna have to happen. You asked me to explain Virgil. I just told you. Motherfucking Oscar De La Hoya and Team Virgil Ortiz, both of them said
he is not ready.
I mean, I'm not blaming him. I wouldn't even call Virgil a duck. This is right before he was going through that weight shit, and he was passing out and all that. He had some medical issue. They say he's not ready, and they still saying it like that. The dude, have you seen Virgil fight nobody? Virgil ain't been fighting nobody.
Virgil said he not ready for Boots. That's he fight
Oh,
Boots in 5 years from
oh,
now. And Boots said,
he
I fight you now in 5 years.
he said you explained Virgil Ortiz already. Okay, so we got that clear. Boost called cuz he never called Terrence.
He's never said I fight.
Never called Terrence, and Terrence said that out his mouth. Them dudes' names never came up. They never contacted me.
Only thing
Now,
Boots ever said is that he could beat he could beat Bud, and he ain't no real switch hitter. What the hell is that? That's not calling that man name out. He ain't say yo.
listen,
He don't show up to Bud's fights like he do EJ's fights and actively pursue Bud. He don't do that. It's a reason
yeah,
why
he
he don't do
just
that.
because one, and I ain't gonna call him scared of Bud. I think they just respect Bud more. I think a lot of fighters, if they logically looking at it and not riding Earl Spence coattails, that they look at it and probably it's like they giving the edge to Bud. That's why a lot of more of the professional retired fighters that went to the Hall of Fame, you saw that they all gave Bud, most of them, the edge. Only Earl fans, only people from Texas or Earl fans give him the edge or whatever. And the Daniel Canahan thing, I already had went through that. Listen, I don't know Daniel Canahan from a can of paint. I reported on him because it intersected with boxing. And this was months and months and months ago. And this man been around for decades in boxing. And all the motherfuckers, Golden Boy, Mayweather probably, Bob Arum, PBC,
What did
Eddie
to him?
Hearn, every last one of them, Lou DiBella, Frank Warren, Queensberry, we can go on and on. All of them motherfuckers worked with this dude. But when he became public enemy number one, and instead of the American government turned boxing down brick by brick and leaving it in shambles, American government shot a shot across the bow and said, hey, this dude, we got a bounty on him and his family. It's $5 million apiece for him, his brother, and his daddy. If you can get them together, that's $15 million. We looking for him. Come hell or high water, we looking for him. Not only are they looking for him, there's a red file out on him. That means Interpol is looking for him, and
Mm-hmm.
other foreign governments. So from the word on the street, he probably somewhere where they don't extradite, like the Middle East. Okay, that
Mm-hmm.
still don't mean the dude don't like boxing, but this is what America said: sever all ties. And a lot of people did that. If you had a contract with him, that shit is no more good because he can't take you to court and sue you. What can he do? Because America is sever all ties.
And Bud never had any ties to him. He only went and met and talked to the man. They had a conversation. How is that tied to somebody? Because they talked. I talk. Say you going to jail tomorrow, Anthony, and you going to jail for I don't know robbing somebody, and I have a conversation with you today about boxing. That don't mean I'm tied to you by no means. Am I tied to you by having a conversation with you today? I don't understand how y'all put two and two together. Y'all not putting one and one making two. Y'all putting one and one making four.
Five and shit.
Yeah, off
Yeah.
numbers. You got three out of one plus one. I don't know how you did that, but you got a
Toriana Jenkins is in the building. Welcome to the building. I don't know if you're king or queen. That's what I like to call folks. He said, "Oh my God, I love this chat and commentators. My first time here, ladies. San Diego in the house. Woohoo!
shout out
Welcome,
to San
welcome,
Diego.
welcome.
I love San
Hey,
Diego. That's a
look,
dope place.
Toriano, we come on
Solano.
every day, Monday through Friday at 7:30 p.m. Unless I got something to do. But I pretty much try to be here every day, Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure y'all come back. But here's the thing. It's like my girl said, Destiny was completely right. Then you throw on the top of the, she said, how you convict him by association. Because that's all you can say. Because trust me, I even try to tell y'all without saying, look, how do I say it? I can't really talk about what I did in the military for good reasons. Okay. But I can tell you that I had a damn good highfalutin job. And I can tell you that I've worked with a lot of people that we be talking about on here. Now, did I work on anything remotely close to this case? No. But I say that to say I know their process. Okay. If Bud was indeed guilty, they would have been packed his ass up a long time ago. Matter of fact, there would not have been a Sean Porter fight. Y'all can take that to the bank. I promise you. If they have no reason to wait around. Bud is nobody in the grand scheme of this situation. If he was guilty, they would have got him. Number two, if we're gonna talk about association, look at Errol Spence fans. I mean, look at his friends. And look what they get into. That part.
That whole part. Yeah. That whole
part. So is he what his friends do?
Okay.
Or he's friends with people.
Rest in power. Take off with just
hold on. Straighten your thing out. Destiny, you breaking up. Like, hold on, get it. I don't know. Do you got to move in a certain spot?
I was moving. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was moving around.
Okay, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Shakur Stevenson was there that night the takeoff got murdered. Does that mean Shakur Stevenson had something to do with his murder? No, it does not mean he had anything to do with his murder. Just because you talk to somebody, you be around some fans, don't mean you have anything to do with that case.
Just like she said, rest in peace, Takeoff. And Shakur Stevens is apparently there for a lot of things, a lot of times. But we not gonna put that jacket on him. You got friends in high and low places. Right. Everybody do. I got friends in pretty much most of the agencies in the United States government. That don't make me them, but trust me, I know them. We not hearing nothing you said, girl. Damn. Hold on. Say it. Hold on. Hold on. We can hear you now. Go ahead. Nah,
can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah. Then you went out. Okay.
Breaker.
We hear you now.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I had to turn my Wi-Fi back on. No, I was saying that I have family members that's felons. Doesn't make me a felon because my brother's a felon. That's his felony business. Ain't got shit to do with me. Yeah, you can't do that kind of stuff. You can't do that. If Bud would fight no David Athenian if he had some damn real dealings with that boy Daniel Kinahan, whatever you pronounce the little buddy name is. Yeah, he would not be fighting this man coming up in like less than 10 days, Miss T? About 10, 11, 12 days from now. He wouldn't be fighting this man if he would be in somebody's jail right now. Right, he'd be in jail right next to Young Thug.
You gotta ask these people like where they get their information. I remember when I was getting that particular job I had in the Navy, and I remember I had to speak to somebody, and the guy was like, "So tell me about this. That this nigga had everything. You hear me? He could go from me at 4 all the way up. I'm not gonna get into what I did, y'all, but because I really can't really speak on it, but." Trust and believe me, motherfucker. I done worked next to these people all my life. And I'm telling you, I know their process. And every time I hear the association to Bud Crawford, I laugh because I was like, that is so not true.
Man, the feds have something like a 98% convict rate, 97, 98% convict rate, the feds do. And the feds, when they move in, they gonna move in swiftly. Bud would have been locked down. Trust me. You see how fast they got young Thug and all the little Thug people sitting in that damn jail for money laundering and all that kind of stuff. They got them on.
If they ever decide to know anything about you, they know. You ain't gonna be able to do nothing about it.
They listen on the phone. They nobody can reverse that bill.
They was looking for that dude long before they ever announced that they was looking for him. And when they announced pretty much that they was looking for him, they had him dead to rights. That's when they came out with, hey, we got a bounty for him. Now, I've never heard of the Department of Treasury look wanting to get at somebody that bad, because this is a first for me hearing that, because normally it's just FBI, CIA, other agency, Homeland
Mhm.
Security or whatever. And let me tell you, all them big badass agencies, I can tell you the agencies I didn't work with. I never worked with the Department of Treasury. I never worked with the Department of Agriculture. I never worked with, I'm sorry, I work with all of them. So I'm just saying, when I just say stuff like, and not trying to be Barbara Badass, not trying to say I got a great affiliation, but I work, you know how you can work around people off and on, or
Mhm.
consistent, or maybe you work next door to them, and you just know their process. And I know that process enough to know that if Bud was guilty, he wouldn't have been having no fights. That's how y'all know.
He would have
That's
been
how I
good.
know. I don't got no inside track. I'm just
Mhm.
saying that's how I know. If he was guilty, there wouldn't have been a Porter fight. They
He
ain't
would
gonna
be in
be like,
jail.
there ain't gonna be no fight that's coming up right now. They wouldn't give a fuck about his career and how the fans felt. They would not care. He is a small guppy in this situation concerning that guy that they just made public enemy number one. Bud is a small guppy. They will run through his ass just and fuck him all the way up just to get to that guy. They ain't doing Bud no favors. That's how I know Bud ain't did nothing. That's how I know. And y'all can choose to see it how y'all want to see it.
They know
But if
Bud
they
ain't did
have
nothing.
some,
That's just that talking. That's that silly talking point they have over there on the Spencer Hollow
mm-hmm,
channel. Anything to try to discredit this man because they don't have nothing really on him. But we can go on days for days and days about Sprints. There's so much dirt on Sprints, man. You could build a whole damn a dirt castle with Sprints, all his dirt. Y'all have to make up stuff on
mm-hmm.
Bud. Y'all literally have to make up stuff. The worst thing y'all can say about him is Mr. Steal Your Girl, and he got caught cheating.
Yeah,
Okay,
and so look. I'm just saying too. Like with Spence, I hear shit about him. I let it go in one ear and out the other because if it really don't intersect with boxing, I try not to talk about it. Now, something like drinking to me that intersects with boxing because it lets us know. Like if I'm putting money on you, nigga, I want to know is you taking care of yourself? Is it
right.
better, whatever Anthony Jones said? I can't fuck with New Balance Bernie. He's the ultimate dick rider. Laugh out loud. I was saying, you explained Virgil. I wrote that late. Hopefully, Bud gets a good fight before he retired. Yeah, I mean, he
Hopefully, your
good.
boy Sprints get a good fight before he
Thank
retires.
you.
That's what you need to worry about Sprints, because Sprints, he
Tariana
got
said,
a damn thing on his record. He only has one weight class. He's never he's never been undisputed, so he don't have no real accolades. That's what you better be hoping on is your boy Sprints.
Big Fish, welcome to the building. What's poppin' King? He said, Boss T. I like that name, Big Fish. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving holiday. I hope you have a soon to be great Christmas. I hope you go broke buying your children all the toys that they want.
Oh Lord,
Or you wanna like I don't even know how many kids you got, Big Fish. You said you had a son, but he probably like you talked about it like your son might be older. Like he ain't no kid no more. You know how them daddies be. Only when the kids little do they be like, "I here, shit." They get a mama like however much money to get them. But once some kids start getting older, it's principality to this shit. I ain't behind this big ass nigga. What he doing for himself? You know, it's
he ain't
crazy
been
how. Hmm,
JA.
but
She's not been accused of nothing. People just make up stories on Bud. That's all. Just have stories they tell. That's the
welcome
story.
to the building, JH. I'm not sure. I'm gonna just say JH. Welcome to the building. Hope you return. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Please, please, please. Just hit the subscribe button and the like. Please, please, please. In my humblest voice ever. My humblest voice.
People come in and subscribe to her channel. It's a good channel. She's a good lady.
Yeah,
She talks
thank
her
you.
shit.
Thank you.
She's a Bud stan, Budaholic. Yeah, we some Bud.
Yeah.
We smoke
Bud
Bud up
buddy.
here.
I'm
Yeah.
moving up the list, huh, General? But I'm speaking facts. I don't have to speak no lies. I tell you no lies. But that's why I don't like out of fairness, y'all. Again, I could be that person on here talking about Spence associations and just having him being all kinds of criminals. But I won't. I won't ever do it because that's not fair. That ain't no proof came out. And the same thing with Shakur. That's not fair. So I'm gonna treat people fairly. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna treat people fairly. It ain't even my job to find out. I ain't pressed to find out. It's somebody to find out before me, and then if they put it out there, then we'll just be sitting back saying, "Oh, they shouldn't have did that." Same thing with Bud. If Bud came out to be somebody scrupulous, unscrupulous or whatever, and then we'll be like, "Oh, that was his dumb ass fault." That's all
Yeah.
we can say. That's I ain't hiding nobody or caking for nobody or nothing like that. But before we call anybody a criminal, let's be fair. Because
He
you
ain't no
would
damn
not
criminal.
want nobody to call you that. You
He
wouldn't
ain't
want
did nothing to be a criminal just because he had having a conversation with somebody does not make you a criminal unless you're talking about some criminal things with that conversation. You plotting or something, trying to blow up the
nobody.
building or something, then that makes you a criminal. But talking about business before you even knew he was going to be, nobody saw that coming that he was going to be public enemy number one. I know, I didn't know who Little Buddy was for real, to be honest. I heard his name here and there, but no fuck he was. That was nobody was on my radar. Tyson Fury
but
had more business with him than anybody. When
but
he
now
Tyson Fury was to him.
after they was warned, it was three people that said, "Fuck what y'all talking about. Fuck what America talking about." I'm still rolling with him, and that was Mauricio Suleiman, who ain't catch his hell yet. But what's his name? Josh
Tyson
Taylor,
Fury.
which and Tyson Fury. Even Bob cut a jig off him. Bob was cutting the jig doing the
Mhm.
moonwalk off a back up off of what's called, and he know. And Bob did business with this man. So that means everybody under Bob's stable was inadvertently attached to this man. It is what it is, including Terrence Crawford. They was
Yeah.
inadvertently because by virtue of the fact that Bob was your boss. The way
Shakur
boxing ran
Stevenson,
today.
right? Shakur Stevenson, Jay Prince, all of them, like you said, inadvertently. That ain't got nothing to do with them men, though. The men ain't had nothing to do with whatever Daniel Canahan had going on, whatever he got going on. What does he have going on? What is it he
He's
want? I know
supposed
something
to
about some racketeering.
he's supposed to be the European version of El Chapo, something like that.
Oh, okay. So he over there
A
making hits and shit.
combination. And he probably was using boxing, and I say probably because I don't know this man. So
Mhm.
so Mr. Canahan, don't get mad at me. They probably figured he was using boxing as a laundering tool for his money. Who knows?
Possibly, yeah, yeah. I don't know what the man was wanted for. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I just heard he was wanted for some racketeering, and I mean, think I heard something about some murders, but I'm not sure if that's true or not at all
Could
neither.
have. But
I
I'm
don't.
just gonna say the same grave y'all did for Bud by trying to associate him with that man. You better do the same thing for Earl Spence. Do
Mhm.
the same thing. Keep that same energy. That's how sometimes we can say it's a bias thing. Now you had said before we get out of here, because we've been on here about 3 hours. So before we get out of here, Miss Lady, you have always said off and on. I guess I wasn't ready to receive it. That uh he pays people to big him up.
Oh, he does.
Break that shit down. Starting with his ex trainer. Would they ever get back together?
No, he paid that man 50K. And that's all that man do is sit there. The Blu-ray boy, he gave Blu-ray that came out. Blu-ray his own mouth. He said, "Yeah, Earl gave him $50,000. That's why he be on YouTube promoting Earl Spence." And they don't even because that's the reason why they want to get back together is because Derek James was jealous and he don't like Blu-ray because he felt like Blu-ray was taking his shine, and that's facts.
So Blu-ray felt like he needed to step back. So I
Mm-mm,
mean,
mm-mm.
so did Earl step back on account
No, Derek
of
James
Derek
felt like
James?
Blue. Yeah, Derek James felt like that. Blu-ray needed to step back because he was pretty much jealous of the way Blu-ray. Because when Blu-ray was training the Earl boy, he would always he would do his best, and that's when he was looking his best. But once
Mhm.
Blu-ray, they fired Blu-ray because of Derek James, fragile ego. Then that's when Earl started really, not looking. He never looked spectacular in the first
Not
place.
being at his best. Because Blue
Yeah,
Ray was his strength and
strength
strength
and
and
conditioning
conditioning
coach.
coach.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
Blue Ray he left amicably, like he was like, all right, cool, Did he
Yeah,
leave on them?
he ain't have no beef with the boy Spence. I guess his beef. I don't think he even too much dislikes Derrick James. It's Derrick James that don't like him. But yeah, but Blue Ray said out his own mouth he gave that man $50,000. That Errol Spence paid him $50,000. That's why he sets his little goofy ass up on YouTube and all these other things he got his other platforms and just praises, One Eye Willie all day.
So wait a minute, before because I don't know Blue Ray to have a channel for a long time. He
No, he just no.
all the
That's why he made. That's why he created. This is recent. He your boy the Spence boy just barely gave that man that money like last year or earlier this year. It's like either
oh
late last year or earlier this year he gave him that money. And I'm not sure if he's still like paying him payola. He has to still be giving him money because he's still sitting around blowing smoke up everybody's ass about this man. So I'm pretty sure he's still doing that. And it's some other channels, Miss T.
well,
I
go
ain't finna
ahead
shout
and
on
name
your
him. Go ahead
and
and
I
name
can't
him.
ask on your channel because I don't want to bring no
Huh?
heat up here. I'll tell you
Now
offline.
listen, I'm gonna set up the heat would be if I'm interacting. I don't listen.
Mhm.
I don't know this information. She have said it to me for months, and I was like, I never pressed it or anything because I was like, well, ain't no write up. I've never seen it in the write ups. But she, every time she said it, then later on, I'll be thinking, oh, I keep meaning to ask her to go ahead and say what she think. I can't add nothing to this conversation. So say what you
Okay, so
believe.
I'm gonna name two of them. Fanon
Okay.
for sure. The boxing eagle little boy. Yeah, they all pay y'all up. They're in bed with him big time. Yeah, he pays them monthly. He gives them monthly checks. Them two for sure. And Fanon, all he do is make up. Fanon literally just pulls lies out his ass, like literally. That's what he does daily. He'll find a lie to go tell.
So it ain't no more.
No, I put somebody in the chat for you.
Who
And there's
did?
another one. I just can't think of the name. I know four names for a fact, but there's another one I put in the chat for
Let
you.
me
I ain't
ask you
gonna.
this. I ain't gonna say the name if you don't want to say it. But are
Yeah,
you not saying it for a special reason?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm not. Yeah, yeah. Wrong. Yeah, definitely saying
You
for a
can
special reason.
tell. I would say this. That would make sense. I'm gonna just say it like I have my opinions, y'all. That
And
would
that
make
person,
sense.
the name I'm not mentioning either. He makes up lies all the time too. He just sits
Mm.
on his channel and yells and tells lies. That's what he does. So that's what they do. I guess that's what he gives them money for monthly, so they can sit on their channels and tell these good lies. And I know this because I talked to somebody that's very much in. When I say I talked to him, I talked to him. I know him in real life, in person. We met in person. He's in Earl Spencer's little camp. And yeah, and he confirmed what I've been to. Yeah, he
Mm.
confirmed. It's another channel, but I just can't think off the top of my head, girl. When I get it, I'll tell you. It's a good number of them, about five of them he's paying. Oh, that's the other one. No, it's not that one. No, never mind. That's not it.
I
Damn,
think I
I was
know
about to
what you're
say,
gonna say. I think I know what you're gonna say.
yeah. I can't
Because you
think of the
kind of alluded to it before, and I was like, oh shit.
yeah, I'm trying to tell you, I ain't. Yeah, when I tell you, one thing Miss T can tell you, if I say something, I have facts to back it up, and I got the facts. And I tell you what my source. I'm gonna tell you who my source is, Miss T, because
Okay.
I can't say my source name because then he ain't never gonna tell me nothing else.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Don't tell me your source because this way is good. I can't listen. I let everybody come on here and speak their piece.
Yeah,
Just
I'm gonna
because.
tell you my source so you know, because I trust you. I know you're not gonna get in here and blast me.
Yeah. No.
I just know you know. I'll tell you my source because I know you, and I know you're not never gonna say. But if I
Mm.
would tell y'all my source on this channel, I really would. But then if I tell y'all, then I never get no more tea.
No, you ain't supposed to tell. You
Yeah,
ain't
I
supposed to
don't
tell
get no
your
more
source.
tea. But once
And
I'm fighting and done and over with, then I'll tell you my source. But see, I'm gonna tell you now. But if they ever do fight, I would definitely, yeah, I'll fill y'all in. If they ever do fight,
so was Blue Blood because at one point, and now I'm only asking. I don't necessarily believe it.
no,
But he
from what
did. He did a hold on. He did a course correction. It's like he was going through something here lately where people was mad at him, which I didn't understand because like Blue Blood had put out certain things that people be like, nah, I disagree with that. But I guess he was saying opinion. I like Blue Blood, and he's a nice guy and everything. But his people that follow him was not all of them, but some was turning on him because he was speaking facts, and I was like, damn, Blue Blood, it's dangerous
Yeah.
out here like that. You know what I'm saying? Just because telling the truth or
I
whatever.
actually talked to Blue Blood when they was started, like when they was like going ham, turkey, and bologna on him, and I was like, that's complete. But no, Blue Blood was never one of the he was never payola. Actually, from what I understand, the Sprints, he kind of don't really fuck with Lil Buddy like that, like with Blue Blood. Like he's kind of, like iffy with him with Blue Blood, because Blue
Mm-hmm.
Blood, he don't drag Bud like them other channels do. He don't just go on these tangents and make up stories about what Bud ain't
Mm-hmm.
did and all these other things.
I
So
I just saw in the chat like the other one. I knew it.
but you did do that,
I'm
huh?
laughing. I'm laughing. I knew it. I'm like, God damn. But see, I knew it. I'm only going by what you say and all that. And it's gonna stay with me because I don't think she into trying to start up no mess. I ain't
Yeah.
trying to start up no mess. For none, the reason why your name got mentioned is because you absolutely in front of everybody tells bold-faced lies that
Lies.
everybody can see. So of course your name was going to be mentioned. I don't watch Ego that much.
He makes up
I
lies
did.
too. He
Huh?
does too. He's another one just pull lies out his ass. He literally just sit on his channel and tell a whole make up a whole, like literally. He'll literally just sit on his channel and pull a lie out his ass. Now nigga, where did you get that shit from? And
See, I just was
back it
using.
up.
I was just using his a little snippet of his channel because everybody always say share my channel or whatever. So yeah, I used it for fair use because he was able to clean up that leaked conversation with Earl Spence. And the point that I took away that I was trying to show everybody who was listening is that Earl Spence absolutely said 2023. I don't know, next year 2023 for him and
Mm.
Bud. So you can't be mad at Bud for taking the fight in 2022.
And
But
like
yeah, I
Blue,
never could understand why logic didn't prevail, and now I do. Thanks for the information. That's
you welcome. And another thing, like Blue said, Bud said he was fighting this year. And you go back and listen, Bud did say he wanted to have a fight this year. And that's
mm-hmm.
exactly what he's doing. He didn't want to sit out for a whole 2,000 years to wait on one damn idiot to get his shit together. He already had
Still.
to wait 2,000 years for this idiot to stop drinking. So he had to wait on that one. Then after his drinking, he couldn't. He broke his damn eye because of his drinking issues because he couldn't stay in shape. So yeah, so
Mhm.
Bud already had to wait all this time. Honestly, if anything, they should be fining him for making people wait for this damn fight. That's who y'all should be mad at.
Well, if they stripped other people's belts, then they should have been stripping his.
Right.
But also, Earl Spence is another one who said no matter whether it's with Bud or not, he was fighting on November 19th, and he didn't. So that makes him a liar, y'all. I don't know. I know y'all don't want to call him a liar, but that makes him a liar. But you know why that makes him a
LIAR.
liar? You know why that makes him a liar? Why you got to go that harsh with him? Because one, they go that harsh with Bud. Two, both of them niggas can't say shit without it being scrutinized.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. You accepted this possibility when you chose the career that you chose. You are a celebrity. You're in the limelight. You're in the entertainment business, and you're in the combat sports. And motherfuckers gonna scrutinize you to the T. You are as good as your last fight, and them two niggas know it. So when they say something, they're gonna be held accountable for every word they say. Bud said, I want to fight this year, and he's fighting this year. Spence said, I'm fighting November 19th, regardless of whether it's with Bud or whoever else. Well, November 19th has come and go. You are a liar, sir.
Liar, liar, liar. Bud went on and got his 10 milli. Your boy, One Eye Willie ain't never seen 10 million in his life. He don't know what the fuck 10 million look like.
All at once.
That nigga can't even spell $10 million. No. I enjoyed my conversation with you this evening, and I'm gonna text you the information here in a minute when we get off of here. And I love thank y'all for showing up on my good sis show. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe and share our channel if y'all can.
Yeah,
love
please
y'all.
do hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Please. And thank y'all for your participation. Thank you, Anthony, for coming through. Toriana, I hope you come back. Anthony, JH, anybody new to the channel, come back, and we're gonna try to do this Monday through Friday. I try to be fresh about the information I bring. I promise my channel that I would never make up shit just to be making it up and bring y'all fluff just to be bringing y'all fluff. If it ain't shit to talk about, nigga, I'm somewhere in the damn snow taking my day off. Anyway, I'm gonna say peace out to y'all in my Pamela James voice. Peace.
Love, peace, and blackness.
Mm-hmm.